The 21st starter is Matt DiBenedetto.
Starting in 20th is Christian Eckes. Carson Quapple starts in 19th. Harrison Burton will start in the 18th position with Austin Hill in 17th. Justin Bonsignore is back with Joe Gibbs Racing. He'll start today 16th with Ryan Sieg in 15th. 14th starter is Sammy Smith. Nick Sanchez will start 13th. Jesse Love rolls off 12th. And Patrick Starpoli will start in 11th.
Sheldon Creed starts 10th. Dean Thompson goes 9th. Rajah Caruth qualified 8th. Connor Zilich will start 7th. William Sawalich starts 6th. Justin Allgaier is the number 5 starter. Going to post in the number 4 spot is Brendan Queen. Starting 3rd is Sam Mayer. Taylor Gray starts 2nd. And after qualifying today, winning pole position with a speed of 173.410 miles per hour is Brandon Jones.
Field is coming out of turns 3 and 4 right now to complete the first of 3 pace and parade laps. While we have a moment, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. The NASCAR Xfinity Series is racing today at the Kansas Speedway. It is the middle race in the round of 12 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Motor Racing Network is live and on the air with coverage of the Kansas Lottery 300. The field is working pace and parade laps right now. The green flag is coming up. I'm Mike Bagley alongside Alex Hayden. Todd Gordon, defending NASCAR Cup Series champion Joey Logano. We've got Steve Post and Chris Wilner in the pits in the garage. And let's bring in 2 more gentlemen that'll cover all the action today for the Motor Racing Network. Positioned high atop turn 2, as he always is. From Barry, Vermont, is Dave Moody.
Thank you, Mike Bagley. Good afternoon once again, everybody. The lay of the land at this end of the Kansas Speedway. 17 degrees of banking down on the white line at the bottom of the racetrack, separating the racing surface from the apron. That will increase up to a full 20 degrees as you climb the banking and get up close to the outside retaining wall. Very warm day. It'll be interesting to see what tire wear is. There has not been a lot of rubber put down, despite a pair of practice and qualifying sessions for both the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the NASCAR Cup Series. Where there has been an accumulation of rubber is the safer barrier, where the banking empties out on that 5-degree back straightaway. A number of drivers have overcooked things here in turn 2 and gotten a piece of the safer barrier already here today. We'll see if that continues as the afternoon rolls on. We'll cover all the action from high above the play-on billboard here in turn 2 at Kansas Speedway. Now to the other end of the property in Altamont, Illinois, Kurt Becker.
And thank you, Dave. We are positioned just outside of turns 3 and 4 at the north end of the racetrack. Pit road access and the apron to driver's left, to driver's right, all the way to the top of the banking where it's 20 degrees, the safer barrier. Good place to pass. Momentum off the end of the back straightaway. 2,200 feet long, that back stretch. Start a pass into 3, completed off turn 4, and try to pick up positions throughout the course of the race here this afternoon. We'll have all the action covered from our spot atop a billboard right outside the middle of turns 3 and 4. Now back to Joey Logano, Todd Gordon, Mike Bagley, and Alex Hayden.
Thank you, Kurt. As the field works their way down the pit lane, making sure their tachometers are set where they need to be for pit road speed. Let's go back down there for a final thought from pit road before the drop of the green flag, starting at the exit of pit road and Steve Post.
Well, conversation has been much about the points, the playoff, the cutoff line, the bubble, and boy, Sheldon Creed is right in the middle of the scrum. 7th in the point standings, +7 to the cutoff line, and he needs to have a good day here today. Coming off a strong second-place run at Bristol, of course, a lot has been made of Sheldon's second-place finishes. It's his 15th career second place. That is the most for an Xfinity Series driver without a win. Now, when we look at this racetrack, he's a former ARCA Series winner here at this racetrack, and I talked to Jonathan Tonia's crew chief. They want a long run. They want this thing to run totally green. They qualified in the 10th spot, and they are hoping for a long run because Jonathan Tonia and Sheldon Creed believe they have a car that can run up to the front of the field if we get a long green flag run. Chris Wilner?
Well, Steve, on the flip side of things, it wasn't the start of the playoffs Austin Hill and his RCR team would have liked. They now sit 11th in the championship, 16 points below the cut with 2 to go. That was because they ran 19th at Bristol, 3 finishes outside the top 10 in the last 4 races. To get back to to a second straight championship for him may just be about winning. Now, the good news is Austin knows a thing or two about winning on mile-and-a-half tracks. He enters today 2 straight top 10s here at Kansas alone. It's a track he told me he's the most excited about running in the round of 12 and feels like they can gain a lot of points today to avoid the perils of next week at the Roval. I said, what would make you comfortable if you couldn't go to Victory Lane? He said, I want to be at the cut line if I can't go to Victory Lane today. I feel really good about my road course package. So things hopefully shaping up well for Austin Hill. Again, at a deficit coming into Kansas this weekend.
Right now the field is getting the 1-to-go signal. Next time by, the green flag will fly and we'll be off and running in the Kansas Lottery 300. So, Joey, you're in the race car. You've taken the 1-to-go. You're at a racetrack from Kansas Speedway, a wide mile-and-a-half racetrack. What's the mental gymnastics you're doing right now before you come back and receive that green flag?
Yeah, you just said it, a wide, fast mile-and-a-half. Lots of opportunities. You're going to see these cars as soon as they cross the start-finish line where they can fan out, right? You got to stay in line to get the start-finish line. After that, you're going to see at least 3 wide down into turn 1. And when you get off of turn 2, the runs are going to be big. There might be some big checkups off of 2 where cars have to lift, and the runs are going to get bigger as they funnel down into turn 3. There's so much opportunity to gain 3-4 spots right now, right off the bat. Even though it's lap 1, you say, why would you do that? You got to get them while you can.
So will you see guys from deeper rows 4, 5, 6 actually pin themselves to the wall to try to make that 3 wide or 4 wide move up top?
I think so. I think if you're in the 3rd row, I think you need to be looking to get up. You need to be looking to get air on your car, so you're just going to go wherever they're not. And sometimes you're trying to anticipate where these cars are going to go beforehand. That's the hard part.
The field works their way into turn number 3. Lights on that Toyota GR Super Pace car are out. It will make its way to pit road in just a moment. The field begins to tighten up in rows of 2 under the bright sunshine in America's heartland as the pace car makes its way to pit road to call the start of today's Kansas Lottery 300 from Milford, Delaware. Here's Mike Bagley.
86 degrees here in Kansas City, and we are set to go for what is going to be a dandy 200 laps of NASCAR Xfinity Series racing. Pace cars on the pit lane. Here comes the field down to the restart zone and the start-finish line. Green flag is up, and we are off and running here at Kansas Speedway. Brandon Jones, Taylor Gray, side by side. They're looking 2 and 3 wide and getting crossed up already.
3 wide back around the 5th position. They'll sort that out very quickly from the pack. Brandon Jones by half a car length is your leader.
With Sam Mayer there to the inside now, tries to split the difference. Jones moves up, though, shuts off the lane. Here they come into turn number 3 for the first time this afternoon. Jones with the lead.
Jones on the bottom of the racetrack. Taylor Gray digs high on the top side. That's where the momentum is. Taylor Gray pulls even with Brandon Jones. Side by side across the line. Lap number 1 as they head back to the corner.
Sam Mayer right in hot pursuit, trying to figure out which lane's going to go. And for the moment, the high lane is the place to be. Around the outside, Taylor Gray takes over the top spot off turn 2.
Brandon Jones back to 2nd now, then Sam Mayer in 3rd. Here is Justin Allgaier. He is 4th now, racing up to the inside of Brendan Queen off the end of the backstretch.
Butterbean will acquiesce, give him the 4th position, and they are stacked up from 6th on back, looking 2 and 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. You've got Connor Zilic goes to the bottom of the racetrack. Rajah Caruth, Jesse Love, and others all stacked up for battling in that spot.
Rajah Caruth very aggressive here in the early going. Has made a couple of 3 wide moves. For the moment, he'll tuck it back in 2 abreast as the battle is on for 2nd.
It's Sam Mayer who's there to the inside of Brandon Jones. Mayer drives deep back into corner number 3. Sam Mayer moves by for 2nd.
Top 5 begin to break away just a bit from that ongoing scrum from 6th on back as things tighten up for the 2nd spot now. Race leader Taylor Gray gets away by 5 car lengths, leaves Sam Mayer trying to hang on to the runner-up position.
Brandon Jones rides in 3rd, but he's got more company at the back door. Jones running about a groove off the top of the racetrack, feeling the heat now from Justin Allgaier in 4th.
Here's Allgaier having already disposed of Brendan Queen to take over the 4th spot. He squares up right behind Brandon Jones, tries to find an opening in the middle lanes of turns 3 and 4.
They come off turn number 4, racing from 2nd on back. Sam Mayer digging hard to the bottom of the racetrack, kind of ease up under Brandon Jones, but Jones using the outside lane coming off the corner, It's got a lot of momentum. He'll reclaim that second spot.
The best defense is a good offense for Brandon Jones. He holds off the advances of Justin Allgaier by driving around the outside of Sam Mayer. Allgaier will do the same.
And that means Mayer will now find himself back in the 4th position. They all line up this time momentarily and go nose to tail. But again, here's Justin Allgaier down low.
Kind of like an accordion. It'll flex out and then snap right back together. Joey, how much does the draft come into play here at Kansas?
Well, the draft's a little bit there, but what I see a lot is the cars looking for different lanes. We saw the bottom be pretty fast here to fire off. Now we're, 6 or 7 laps into the race, and you're starting to see the cars that are running the top starting to move forward. We saw Brandon Jones doing that. Sam Mayer was fast on the bottom, passing cars for the first couple. Now he's falling back because he didn't move up in time.
As the leaders work their way to turn 3.
It is Taylor Gray with the race lead, Brandon Jones second, and Justin Allgaier now third.
As the field begins to migrate topside, Todd Gordon, is that something you expected after what Joey's analysis was earlier? Get all you can get at the bottom of the track until you have to go topside.
Totally, especially when it's 85 degrees outside the sunshine. The racetrack this racetrack repaved in 2012. It's old asphalt. It's getting hotter. It's getting slicker. You start to get up there at the wall where you can get a little bit of that air working for you, making some grip.
Good battle for 6th, led by Connor Zilich off the end of the backstretch.
He's got William Sawalich right behind him. Sawalich working the middle lanes of turns 3 and 4. And then Jesse Love is behind Sawalich.
Those drivers working towards the outside of the track, the upper third, if you will, of the racing surface. They stay nose to tail for the moment, back to turn 1.
Connor Zilich bypassed William Sawalich a lap or 2 ago to take over the number 6 position. William, though, is not done yet. He's going to look to the inside, try and take the short way around as they race off turn 2.
Battle for 6 continues. Jesse Love would like to catch up and make that a 3-way battle. Here's Love now. He's just a couple of feet off the back bumper of the William Sawalich car.
Dropping further back to pick up the battle for the 10th position. That's where Rajah Caruth has opened up the inside lane coming out of turn number 4. He and Sheldon Creed are racing right there. Creed flying the Ollie's Bargain Outlet colors, wheeling and dealing with Rajah for that spot in 1.
Both quarters racing as they enter turn number 1, and Caruth dives to the very bottom of the racetrack. Top side belongs to Sheldon Creed. Give the advantage to Rajah Caruth.
Then Ryan Sieg is behind the car of Sheldon Creed. Side by side then for position. Austin Hill to the inside. Dean Thompson to the outside. Again, this is going on right outside the top 10.
Challenge and change further up for the number 2 position. Justin Allgaier was able to get to the inside of Brandon Jones. Now Jones will recoil.
He's not at all done with that battle. Right up on the back bumper of the Justin Allgaier machine. A little further back, here comes Connor Zilich. He busts a move to the inside. He'll take 5th away.
Brendan Queen now finds himself relegated back to the 6th position. Challenge and change for 7th. That's where Jesse Love makes the move, and he will get around William Sawalich.
So as the leaders come out of turn number 4 and put lap 10 on the board, let's update you now at the front of the leaderboard. Taylor Gray has led all 10 of the laps completed so far. Justin Allgaier has gotten up to 2nd. Brandon Jones is 3rd. Sam Mayer's 4th. Connor Zilich now has just cracked his way into the top 5. Butterbean Queen is 6th with Jesse Love in 7th. William Sawalich in 8th. Sammy Smith 9th. And Rajah Caruth round out the top 10.
Kyle Larson brings his Chevy Ford Tires Sunoco Racing Fuel.
From fueling NASCAR champions on the track for over 20 years to innovating 94 octane, the highest octane on the market. Performance is what Sunoco does. All Sunoco fuel at the pump meets the same top-tier standards as the fuel used in NASCAR.
You stop here for Ryan Blaney, 4 tires with Sunoco fuel.
From the track to your tank, you can trust Sunoco to help your vehicle perform at its peak.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
No changes in the top 5 while we were away. The only thing that has changed is Justin Allgaier is the fastest car on the racetrack, and he's trying to catch Taylor Gray right now for the lead. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale Show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second. The
1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Hi, folks. Kyle Petty here. I want to tell you about a place that's dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by making a donation today. Any amount will help kids attend camp for free. Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
Welcome back to the Kansas Speedway. There's a new leader of the Kansas Lottery 300, and that challenge and change came in front of Kurt Becker.
Coming off the end of the back straightaway, the leader had been Taylor Gray. He was to driver's right, Justin Allgaier to driver's left. Allgaier drove it deep into the corner. Gray went all the way up to the top of the banking. Allgaier just gently moved on by, let his car swing out wide off the turn, and he is now in front.
And now the battle for sixth is side by side. Headed right back to you, Kurt.
Here comes Jesse Love. He's been on the move. He's down to the inside of Brendan Queen. Queen goes to the top of the banking, and Love's going to make the pass down low.
Jesse Love strong on the inside lane of the racetrack. Couple of Chevrolets racing for that position right there. And although, Dave, that Jesse Love has gotten around him, Butterbean's not letting him get away.
No, the Bean's got a handful of race car right now, though, Mike. That car is decidedly loose, and that makes the extreme top of the racetrack a real adventure. He's moved down the banking here in the last couple of laps, trying to stabilize that automobile.
So Jesse Love has the 5th spot, and Brendan Queen is in the 6th position. Then Sammy Smith is back in the 7th spot. William Sawalich is 8th, and Rajah Caruth is 9th.
That's the second career NASCAR Xfinity Series start for Brendan Butterbean Queen, who won here last night in the ARCA Menard Series. He ran at Bristol Motor Speedway just a couple of weeks ago. Joey, what types of challenges does a young race car driver have coming to a mile-and-a-half track in an Xfinity car in only his second start?
Where do you want to start? There's so many different things. He did a fantastic job in qualifying. I think that surprised everybody. When you get in the race, though, you got to understand, experience takes some time to understand where your car is in practice to what you need in the race. What's fast in practice may not be the same 30 laps into a race, or when you get more cars around you in traffic and restarts and all those things. You will not learn those until you run a race here. And so when he's done with this race, he's going to have some good notes to go back on and say, oh, I should have done this better, this better, and this better. But that's part of being a rookie. And I'd say for his first shot, he's fired off pretty well, right? He's kind of going back a little bit, but he is doing a good job at maintaining some decent track position.
Speaking of drinking from a fire hose, a situation like this, you're taking notes of all the things that happen there. How about learning the drivers that you're competing against in a new series?
Yeah, you don't even know at that point, and nobody knows how he's racing either. And I guarantee you, as a rookie, when you come into any NASCAR level, there's no respect for you. You're on your own, bud. You're going to have to earn it from everybody. It's not something that's just given. You have to go out there and earn it. So, and that's what he's doing, right? You do that. The best way to do that is run well. Right, you've seen Connor Zillage, no better rookie that I've ever seen than Connor Zillage being able to jump into this series and the second half of the season. He's 15 straight top 5 finishes. That is ridiculous, and that's a rookie coming through the racetrack. Sometimes the second time, starting to understand the car better, and you start to see those results.
That is tied 15 consecutive top 5 finishes with Sam Ard all time in the Xfinity Series. Connor Zillage can set the record today with another top 5.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal. Book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on on pit road.
4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race out from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes off second.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
Change for the number 2 spot this time by on lap number 22. Brandon Jones to the inside of Taylor Gray and took that runner-up spot away. They continue to chase Justin Allgaier. 23 laps to go in the opening stage of the Kansas Lottery 300. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Races, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 Years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Welcome back to Kansas Speedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series racing. Justin Allgaier up front has a 2.3-second lead. Should not be at all surprised this season to see Allgaier up front on a mile-and-a-half track. In 3 of the 4 previous mile-and-a-half races this season, Justin Allgaier's led the most laps in 3 of those 4.
Well, something I've noticed, something pretty fun to watch with these Xfinity cars, there's not a whole bunch of grip in them, and as their tires are wearing out, they have even less grip. And what you're seeing right now is the lines are migrating a lot, and they're entering high at the 1/3 part of the corner as you get in there, and then they're pulling it all the way down to the very bottom off of turn 2 into the second lane in 3 and 4, straightening that exit out. What that allows you to do is get to the throttle a little bit harder, a little bit sooner, because running that radius is working that right rear tire too much if you stay up near the wall. So straightening out the exit, getting the throttle down right now has been the fastest for the top 5 cars.
19 laps to go in this opening stage. Let's get an update from pit road. First to Steve Post.
Connor Zilic qualified in the 7th spot, and a couple of us joked earlier that just means the first 25 laps of the race he's not going to lead. Well, he's not going to lead the first 25 laps of the race, and he's got somewhat of an ill-handling race car. Initially, he reported it's tight. Then he said it was laterally loose, and then he said the balance is just kind of all over the place of the race car. Marty Lindley, of course, the veteran crew chief, keeping a keen eye on things, and they'll make an adjustment to it, but right now sits in the 5th spot. Sheldon Creed, he is reporting that his car is just super, super loose all the way around the racetrack. He cannot get back in the gas coming up off in the corner, so they are looking to make an adjustment there on the Sheldon Creed car as well. Chris Wilder?
Well, a couple of playoff drivers that started deeper in the field. One of those, Sammy Smith for Junior Motorsports. He qualified 14th, and this is a driver in desperately need of a turnaround. He has 3 straight finishes out of the top 20. They've had some mechanical failures. The goal today was just to get a solid executed day on all fronts, from driver, from crew as well over the course of the afternoon. He said the right rear started to chatter a little bit, but he loves the handling the car on corner entry. Feels like that's where he's able to get a lot of ground. So already in the top 10 is Sammy Smith, as too is Austin Hill. Talked about it pre-race, how they may need a really strong points day today. He's rolled from 17th all the way inside the top 10 to running 9th. He feels like the car's turning much better. Primarily neutral has been the radio chatter from Austin Hill this run. So a good chunk of this early stage here, really good for Austin Hill. So a couple of playoff drivers marching their way in through the field.
With 16 laps to go in the opening stage, the fight to stay on the lead lap is getting rather physical. Back there around position 29 on back, that's where Ryan Ellis is, Brennan Poole, Austin Green, Jeremy Clements. Todd, things have gotten close quarters racing a couple of different times.
Yeah, contact a couple of times between these cars, and just trying to slide up and put yourself in a position. Car's already there. really breaking the momentum. Actually racing this hard is actually putting more of them in jeopardy. They're not making lap time by using each other up like this.
Justin Allgaier puts a lap on Josh Williams. Dave, he's got more customers to deal with.
He does indeed. Next in line will be the Austin Green machine. Jeremy Clements not far ahead, running for their lives on the backstretch.
Jeremy Clements has been in a battle with Mason Massey for position, about 10 car lengths or so ahead of the race leader off turn 4.
And Allgaier is in the thick of all this traffic right now. He'll go all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, does Allgaier, swing down to the inside of driver's left of the Austin Hill car, who got into the outside safer barrier in turn 1 last time by.
Yeah, that was not at all what Austin Hill had in mind. He's just going to try and limp his way now to the tail end of this stage as Justin Allgaier continues to work the lap car.
He works his way off turn number 2 and heads up the back straightaway one more time here in the opening stage. Here he comes now, back into the corner. Justin Allgaier just continues to weave his way through traffic.
Picking him up and putting him down. Right now he's got lap traffic double wide in front of him, but he's got a comfortable lead. He's got a 2.5-second advantage, but he's got to pick which lane he's going to use. He's going to stack them 3 wide. Allgaier around the outside of 2 lap cars in 1.
He decides not to use either one of those lanes. Green on the bottom, Clements in the middle. Allgaier says, I'll drive around both of you. He'll pick up 2 spots in 1 corner.
Now he sets his sights on the Mason Massey car at the midpoint of the back straightaway. Here comes Massey back into the corner, just fighting to try to stay on the lead lap. But Justin Allgaier closing in.
With a good handling race car and continuing to extend his lead over second place Brandon Jones. Justin Allgaier's lead nearly 3 full seconds. Joey Logano, what is it about drivers when you get a feel for a specific racetrack or a type of track like Allgaier does on a 1.5 miles? What kind of comfort zone does that give you?
Well, it's a fun place to be. There's no doubt about that. And you look at the lines he's running, he's able to make good time in traffic. You know, he definitely has a fast race car, but since they got in traffic, he's been picking them up and putting them down. And Brandon Jones hasn't been able to do that as quickly, and it's just built the gap even more. So it's one thing to have a car that's fast in one lane. Justin Allgaier has a car that's fast in all the lanes.
Right now, that's what we're watching on the racetrack. Justin Allgaier being very choosy. But, Dave, the thing about Justin Allgaier, the car is responding with every single lane that he chooses.
Slicing and dicing. Wherever there's an open lane, he'll use it. He drives by the Ryan Ellis machine on the back straightaway.
Now he closes up behind the Brennan Poole car, squares up behind him just for a moment on the back stretch, then drops it down low and just moves on by.
He does. He continues to thread his way through the back markers, down to 10 laps to go here in the opening stage of the race. Allgaier's lead over Brandon Jones, then Sam Mayer top 3, back to Dave Moody.
Justin Allgaier, the veteran driver, able to make great pace here at Kansas with apparently not abusing those right side tires. That car, as we mentioned, will go anywhere he wants it to go.
He has gotten around the Leland Honeyman car as well as Brennan Poole. Here comes the leader now off the end of the backstretch. Justin Allgaier points the nose of his Chevrolet toward the top side of the banking to turn 4.
And he's got some room to work as he races his way off the corner. Let's check in with Steve Post.
Jesse Love reporting a couple of different things. The car is just loose in, tight in the center, and loose off the corner. And he also reported that there's a vibration in the right rear. And Chris Wilder was talking about one of his guys down there had a vibration with the right rear. Danny Stockman, the crew chief for Jesse Love, said, sometimes we run into scenarios here where we just get the car so that the right rear is chattering, and they told him just continue to drive the car and continue to work on it. Todd Gordon, I want to ask you, you're the crew chief, maybe even Joey Logano, right rear chattering, right rear vibration, is that something that is common here at a place like Kansas, or can happen occasionally?
I'd say at times, yes. We see this racetrack is fairly smooth. You can get a vibration in it as it works its way through. It's one of those pieces that's very unsettling because it takes grip away from the race car and it makes you wonder what's going on. But sitting here knowing that this wasn't a pit stop leading to this, you don't think it's going to be a loose wheel at that point, but you wonder if it's a tire issue, right, Joey?
Well, just coming from someone who had a tire issue in practice earlier today, it did feel like that. There was a vibration and it came apart, and I can tell you right now as a race car driver, and you start feeling that, and you're ripping around this place, it's a big distraction. Even if it doesn't affect the balance of the car, which I'm sure it is, but even if it didn't, it's a distraction in your mind.
Do you think about running different lanes because of it? Do you put yourself closer to the wall just for impact reasons?
Yeah. I mean, you want to get away from the wall to give yourself a chance to save it, but you want to get up next to the wall, so if it does go down, you just kind of smush it against the fence, and you don't hit the wall and ruin your day. So, yeah, you move up the racetrack.
And again, Jesse Love is the driver that's feeling this vibration. He is running in the 6th position. He is 11.3 seconds behind Justin Allgaier, who leads now with 6 laps to go in the stage. Here's Justin off turn number 4. Had some open real estate to work with, Dave, but he's picking them up, he's putting them down, and he's putting a lot of drivers a lap down in the process.
Yeah, the real estate in front of him is diminishing quickly with more lap traffic dead ahead, but behind him, it is the wide open spaces. Allgaier with a huge lead on the back straightaway.
In fact, Brandon Jones running back in the 2nd position. He is still trying to find a way just to catch up with Mason Massey, Brennan Poole, Leland Honeyman, just to try to get around those lap cars.
And those lap cars stay right in front of the order of the cars, at least on the tail end of the lead lap, right in front of Justin Allgaier. Behind him, though, they're nearly 3 wide, trying to race for what could be the free pass on the next caution flag. And that got very physical again. Brennan Poole slid up the track. All this right in front of 2nd place Brandon Jones.
Indeed, Brandon Jones not liking what he's seeing right now. He's going to dive to the bottom of the racetrack and try and put the whole mess in his rearview mirror. Leland Honeyman sideways makes a great save. That would have been a disaster.
And here comes Brandon Jones now, carefully moving by to the outside, right alongside of the Leland Honeyman car. Honeyman now working down to the bottom side.
Dave, what a save for Leland Honeyman. The back end of the car, she was kicked out about 30 degrees to the starboard.
He had that thing pointed for the campground at the exit of turn number 2. Leland Honeyman somehow did not overcorrect. If he had, he would have come back up out across the track, and he would have wiped out Brandon Jones.
The fans over there on the observation deck at the Hollywood Casino in turn 2 got a good view of that one. A great opportunity to read the sponsors down the quarter panel of that race car as we're getting closer and closer to the green and white checkered flag and valuable stage points on the line. There'll be 3 to go in the stage this time by. Here's Allgaier, all by himself on the racetrack, flies by the start-finish line, heads back to turn 1.
All things considered, he should probably not have to deal with another race car before the stage is over. He's got a mammoth lead over Brandon Jones, who rides in 2nd, and no more lap traffic to deal with.
Here comes Justin Allgaier now out of the backstretch. Wide open racetrack straight ahead as he comes off the end of the back straightaway. Justin Allgaier just glides through turns 3 and 4 with the race lead.
You can tell to the human eye that the tires are giving up because the pace has slowed considerably, and Justin Allgaier is just nursing that race car around the racetrack right now. 2 laps to go in the opening stage, and his lead 5 seconds as he takes him back to the corner.
He's got enough of a margin right now that he could almost get out and walk to the green and white checkered flag. I don't anticipate that he'll do that, but the better part of the back straightaway is the lead right now for Justin Allgaier.
Allgaier already coming toward the end of the backstretch, just as Brandon Jones back in 2nd is exiting turn number 2. Here's Allgaier again, coming off turn number 4.
All by himself, keeps the car out of harm's way in the middle of the racetrack. Smooth exit off turn 4. We begin the final 1.5 miles of stage number 1. Justin Allgaier and the Brandt Chevrolet heads back to Dave Moody.
Across the start-finish line into turn number 1. No company anywhere around, front or rear. A dominant opening stage right now. The little Gator heads to the backstretch for the final time in stage 1.
Lets the car just float out right out next to the outside safer barrier. Now starts to crank it down toward the middle lanes of turns 3 and 4. Works his way up toward the top side. Now angles back toward the middle off the corner.
And applies pressure to the throttle now as he clears turn number 4 at the start-finish line. Green and white checkered flag is waving. Justin Allgaier has won stage 1 of the Kansas Lottery 300. Now we're going to have to take a minute and let everybody else catch up. Brandon Jones, who's running in 2nd right now, comes across the line. He now will take the green and white checkered flag as well. Sam Mayer's across. He'll finish 3rd. Connor Zilich finishes 4th. Taylor Gray rounding out the top 5. 6th is Brendan Butterbean Queen with Jesse Love in 7th. Austin Hill in 8th. Sammy Smith 9th. And Dean Thompson will finish 10th. Those top 10 stage finishers are presented by GoodRx. For simple, smart savings on your prescriptions, check GoodRx. Go to GoodRx.com or download the free GoodRx app.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
Next 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
45 laps are complete. First caution flag is flying. It comes for the end of stage 1. Pit road will be open in a moment, and everybody will be on the pit lane to get some tires and fuel. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR. We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network. Voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
Back at Kansas Speedway, caution flag number 1 is flying over the Kansas Lottery 300. Pit crew members getting angled up on the wall. Pit road's not open yet. Going to be another lap or so before we open up the pit lane. But what an opening stage, Alex, from Justin Allgaier and Junior Motorsports, picking up on their 1.5 mile ways that they left at Charlotte 4 months ago.
12th stage win of the season for Justin Allgaier. That leads the Xfinity Series here this season. He's won at least one stage in 5 of the last 6 races. But you're right about it. In leading laps on a 1.5 mile racetrack, Justin Allgaier feeling awful confident about his race car right now. But it's an impending pit stop to come here, see if the pit crew can do their job and they can maintain their track position.
Joey, I'd be curious to get your thoughts while we have a moment. We've been talking a lot this year about Connor Zilisch going for his 10th win today. He's 4th on the leaderboard. Butterbean Queens getting ready to win the ARCA Menard Series Championship next weekend at Toledo. These are 2 young and up-and-coming race car drivers. What are your thoughts? What's your analysis on watching those drivers race?
Oh, I think they're both doing great. I think Connor Zilisch is kind of in a league of his own when you look at the speed that he's been bringing to the racetrack. Obviously, the wins, the top 5s, the consistency. We saw early in the year he made a few mistakes, right? Just being too aggressive, had the winning car, made a mistake, cost the win. He seems like he's already honed that in a little bit. And, the next step when he moves to the Cup level, there's going to be another learning curve there, but he's definitely figured it out super fast. And his road course racing is also a really big strength for him.
How impressive is it that because we look at like SVG, his road course racing is phenomenal. He's had to learn the oval racing, but Connor Zilisch, who did come out of kind of sports car racing, so good at the road courses, but then comes and does it on the ovals as well in the series.
Yeah, he's got both. He's got both, right? And he's the only one that really can keep up with Shane, and even in the Cup races, he's the only one who can somewhat keep up.
Pit lane is open. Here come the lead lap cars as they make their way onto pit road. We start our coverage with the second-place car, Brandon Jones with Chris Wilner.
He already comes to the attention of his Joe Gibbs Racing crew. Brandon Jones, who finished second in the stage, said, I'm using a lot more brake than I want to get the car to turn. I need more front turn. They're going to make an adjustment there aboard his Toyota. Sunoco can in the left side, 4 Goodyear tires and fuel. Also on pit road, Taylor Gray, free on throttle. I cannot get the car to get pointed off the corner. They'll make a track bar adjustment by the call of Jason Radcliffe and send him on his way. Steve Post.
Carson Quaffle is in, free all the way around. They're going to make a chassis adjustment for tire Sunoco racing fuel. Similar situation with Sam Mayer, free as well. Going to make a chassis adjustment, air pressure, down and away goes Justin Allgaier. Minor air pressure adjustment on it just to tighten it up. They were worried about starting the race on the scuff qualifiers. They just wanted to adapt to the stickers that they're putting on the car. Other than that, no adjustments. These pit stops, lap 41, the end of stage number 1.
And a team that got the job done on pit road was Brandon Jones and his team. They come off the pit lane at the top of the leaderboard. Justin Allgaier off pit road in the second spot.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, Two Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
The cars 1 or more laps down have the opportunity to come to pit road for service now, and it continues to be a busy place with those teams making adjustments to their race cars. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, an exclusive podcast from the Motor Racing Network.
Ron Hornaday, green flag is in the air, and he will take the field quickly to turn 1.
Relive the moments of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series from its debut in 1995.
Checkered flag in the air, Skinner wins in the inaugural for the NASCAR Truck Series by Craftsman.
The legends of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Todd Bodine wins 4 in a row on super speedways.
The Tough Trucks of NASCAR, available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
We welcome you back here to Kansas Speedway. It's the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the Kansas Lottery 300. Want to welcome to the broadcast good friend as we come to Kansas, Director of Marketing for Kansas Lottery, Mr. Steve Ortiz. How you doing today?
Hey, Alex, thanks a lot. It's a pleasure to be back here today racing.
Yeah, absolutely. A perfect day to go racing here in the Kansas Lottery 300. First of all, thanks for the great weather you have for us here.
Hey, thanks a lot. We couldn't be more happy today for the way the weather is. It doesn't get any more beautiful.
Obviously, Kansas Lottery and the Kansas Speedway, longtime partners here. In fact, Kansas Lottery played a pivotal role in the development of this racetrack. Tell us all about that and how it came down.
You know, Alex, we were one of the original sponsors here at the racetrack, and we've been one of the longest sponsors here, and we're real proud to be part of the team that brings such a world-class racing experience to here in Kansas.
But you're also giving back to all the lottery players out there to play Kansas Lottery. What kind of things are you doing for the fans?
You know, a lot of great things we've been doing for the fans. We ran a promotion every year that people are able to enter and win and come to the track. We had a great experience. We were real lucky on the other night. Ross Chastain stopped by, talked to all the winners. They're over here in the suite enjoying the race today. And then moving on through the weekend, they'll take in all the festivities tomorrow as well.
Well, we're going to crown a champion, Joey Logano, a reigning series champion for the NASCAR Cup Series. But when we get to Phoenix coming up, and I understand Kansas Lottery has a representative as a fan with a chance to win $1 million when we get there.
Hey, this has been real exciting for us here at the Kansas Lottery that we've had one of our players that got selected to be part of the $1 million promotion for the Powerball Finals at Phoenix. His name is Francisco Arribas. He's with us today. He was our official starter for the race. And, we're just hoping that he makes the next cut so we can have somebody from Kansas, in the mix for that final prize.
And it's not just the fans and players of the Kansas Lottery that win. It's the state of Kansas as well.
Yeah, we support a lot of different economic opportunities here in Kansas, especially veterans. We gave over $1.2 million to veterans. I wanted to give a shout out to that. It would have been my late father's 74th birthday this weekend. He was a United States Marine.
Oh, Happy birthday, absolutely, for that one. Listen, thanks so much to you and your entire team at Kansas Lottery for your continued support of NASCAR racing and Kansas Speedway. And let's look forward to another great Kansas Lottery 300 today.
Hey, thanks a lot, Alex. We appreciate being here. Let's go racing today.
Absolutely. Steve Ortiz, Director of Marketing with the Kansas Lottery, joining us here with the NASCAR Xfinity Series and the Kansas Lottery 300. You know, we have partners all across the tour, but Kansas Lottery being a longtime partner, we couldn't do it without them.
Absolutely. Partners are so important. But what I took out of all that is Francisco has a chance to win more money than the guy that wins a championship driving the car.
It does.
Which is great. Good for him.
That's Steve Ortiz, Director of Marketing for the Kansas Lottery. As we get the one-to-go signal this time by, we'll go back under the green flag in another lap as the laps continue to count. 37 to go now here in stage number 2 of the Kansas Lottery 300. Brandon Jones is the new race leader after his pit crew got the job done on pit lane. Justin Allgaier is second, Sam Mayer is third, Connor Zilic is fourth, and Austin Hill is fifth.
William Sawalas will restart in sixth. Rajah Caruth will restart in seventh. Sammy Smith in eighth. Dean Thompson ninth. Taylor Gray in 10th. Sheldon Creed will restart in the 11th position with Justin Bonsignor in 12th. You got Brendan Butterbean Queen in 13th, Christian Eckes 14th, Jesse Love in 15th, with Carson Quapple in 16th, Daniel Dye in 17th, Ryan Sieg 18th, Nick Sanchez in 19th, and Harrison Burton will restart in 20th.
Let's follow up with the Taylor Gray pit stop. That was rather slow. He comes out on pit road in the 10th spot, as Mike just pointed out. Chris, what happened down there?
Yeah, Alex, he lost 5 spots. The right front tire change was slow. The pit gun malfunctioned, and it could have been a lot worse. But heads up by that Joe Gibbs Racing crew, had the backup air gun ready to go. They only lost 5 spots. So catastrophe avoided, although they did lose some spots on pit road under that last pit stop for Taylor Gray. So they just warned him he's going to be really tight here in Dirty Air on Fire Off, but hopefully over the course of this long run in stage 2, he can work his way back into the top 5.
Right now, Taylor will restart on the inside of row 5, and he will have a lot of work to do after leading 13 laps earlier. Justin Allgaier has led the most. As he comes to the line, he will restart in second. He has led 36 laps today. So Allgaier, Gray, and Brandon Jones, your 3 race leaders of the Kansas Lottery 300. Pace car has the field in tow through turns 3 and 4. Matter of fact, the pace car comes to turn 4 right now, makes the left-hand turn on the pit road, and the green flag is set to fly. That'll leave us 36 to go in stage 2.
The field hits the restart zone. Brandon Jones opts for the outside lane. He's going to try to get away from Justin Allgaier. Little Gator has other things in mind. He's going to match him stride for stride to turn 1.
Slides right up on his door, and Sam Mayer's looking to go 3 wide around the outside. Allgaier on the bottom. He'll take the lead. Brandon Jones to second. Mayer drops back into third.
With Connor Zilic trying to hang on to the 4th position, Sammy Smith to the inside, and Austin Hill goes rocketing up to the outside. A 3-way battle for position.
They stack it up now for third on back, while Brandon Jones wants the lead back. He's going to give Justin Allgaier the good look coming out of 4. He looked to the inside, couldn't get the job done. Right now it's Allgaier and Jones, a 2-car breakaway.
Then 2x2 for third and fourth. Sammy Smith down to the inside. Sam Mayer to the outside, then Connor Zilic and Austin Hill.
Then Taylor Gray behind that pack of traffic. They will all straighten out and go nose to tail coming off the end of the back straightaway. Justin Allgaier, the race leader.
Allgaier by a car length over, maybe 2 car lengths, that is, over Brandon Jones. The battle for third begins to flare up. Sam Mayer looks to the inside of Sammy Smith. This is going to enable Connor Zilic to close in, make it a 3-car fight.
Zilic right there on the back bumper. He's going to jump to the bottom along with Sam Mayer. Takes the short way around. Mayer for the moment third by a bumper.
Here comes Sammy Smith, though, back to the outside. He will rally back around to regain the 3rd position, only by a fender. Mayer is there to the inside again, drives it deep into the corner, pinning his car to the white line.
Sammy Smith rolling on that restart, and so is Taylor Gray, who just powers to the inside of Austin Hill. Coming out of turn number 4, put now Taylor Gray in 6th, Hill back to 7th, and Gray's got more work to do. He's got 3 cars stacked up right in front of him.
That's the battle from 3rd back through 7th place. For the moment, they will call a ceasefire and try and reel in the leaders who have begun to draw away.
Yeah, Justin Allgaier has opened up by 4 to 5 car lengths now over Brandon Jones. About a half dozen car lengths back of him, back to Sam Mayer in 3rd.
It got very close for about the 7th position back there.
Trouble in turn number 3. Jeb Burton goes around. Broadside, he slides all the way across to the top of turn number 4. Everybody else dodging down to the inside.
Caution is on the speedway for the second time today. Let's go back to Kurt Becker for the problem.
Coming back off the end of the back straightaway, Jeff Burton got turned sideways in his black and yellow Chevrolet, working up toward the high side of the racetrack near the safer barrier. Car slid all the way across the top of the banking to turn number 4. Big old plume of smoke. Everybody else changing lanes from right to left to get around to the inside.
That could have been a lot bigger than what it actually was. You've been in both of those positions before, the car sideways in the middle of the racetrack, but you've also, Joey, been the car that's been bearing down on that car that's crossways in the middle of the racetrack.
Yeah, everyone did a good job getting around that one. He's towards the middle of the pack, pretty wide track. You're trying to check up as much as you can, and he's right there around some of the cars that were racing for the lucky dog spot. So the racing usually in those areas are ultra aggressive because they know if a caution comes out and they can get that lucky dog, it gives them a chance to recover on the day. And if they don't capitalize early in this run, they might be 2 laps down by the end of this one. So a lot of hard racing right where he was, and everyone got around him.
Jeb Burton, after the spin, took his car to pit road in front of Steve Post.
I brought that car down to the attention of the crew. They put 4 Goodyear Racing Eagles on it, and the crew took some time on the right side to make sure they pulled the fenders up, to make sure they had wheel clearance. Went on to the left side, 4 tires, made sure they had good clearance there as well. So no indication at this point. Did not hear anything that Jeb said about the race car, but does not ding anything up on it. He does not hook into anything out there in the racetrack. So right now we'll just see if it's just the 4 tires is all they needed to repair after that spin down in turns 3 and 4.
And that will put him as the last car on the lead lap, 25th on the leaderboard.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield, same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings Wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap GoodRx, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. Deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang, that one little laugh does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
30 laps to go, and we're under the second caution flag of the afternoon. Right now, it's Justin Allgaier who's the race leader. Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, Sammy Smith, Connor Zilic, the top 5. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about.
Win at Talladega.
Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
Gotta go.
Throw in a can't miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Jeff Gordon wins the Daytona 500.
Jeff Gordon's rise to one of NASCAR's all-time greatest drivers was one like no other. Relive Jeff Gordon's journey to the NASCAR Hall of Fame with the exclusive MRN podcast, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career. 93 Cup Series wins, 4 Cup Series championships, and 3 Daytona 500 wins, a career rivaled by few others. Check out MRN's Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Back at Kansas Speedway, caution flag is flying over the Kansas Lottery 300. Jeb Burton going for a spin in front of Kurt Becker in turns 3 and 4. Nobody has come down pit road among the lead lap cars. And Todd, don't expect to see anybody to come down pit road, no?
No, when you look at the one, you've only got, 5 green flag laps on the tires there. I don't think that they've gone far enough that you're going to drive your way back through with a 4 or 5 lap better tire. You need the clean air at that point. But the other part is these teams don't have unlimited numbers of sets of tires. So you've got to kind of keep this so that third stage, you've got the tires to be able to race it there.
Yeah, something I think will be interesting as they come to the one to go here, the choose. We saw Brandon Jones, he was the leader in the last restart. He chose the the top lane. Justin Allgaier was on the front row on the bottom. Justin Allgaier beat him through turn one, cleared him, retook the lead, gained control of the race again. Now Justin Allgaier is the leader. I assume he's going to go to the bottom because it just worked for him. We're going to find out here in a second.
As they make their way down to the line to choose, we'll tell you what their decisions were in just a moment. First, let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Motor Racing Network live at Kansas Speedway, the NASCAR Xfinity Series running the Kansas Lottery 300. I'm Alex Hayden alongside Mike Bagley, Todd Gordon, and Joey Logano in the broadcast booth. Out in turns 1 and 2 is Dave Moody, and 3 and 4 is Kurt Becker. Up and down the pit lane, Steve Post and Chris Wilner.
They have just chosen for the restart, and it's a fairly traditional choose. Justin Allgaier as the leader, chose for the inside. Brandon Jones in second, chose for the outside. Sam Mayer inside, Sammy Smith outside. Taylor Gray started on the inside, or chose for the inside. It's Connor Zilich that had the opportunity to go down low, but Joey, he opted to restart in the outside lane.
Yeah, it's been going just kind of one and the other, right? And what I typically do is say, okay, at a track like this, most likely you're going to go the shortest lane or take the top. That's what Connor Zilich did. It got to the point where he had to pick, do I want the bottom or the top? Either one was going to be the same row for him. He went for the top. I think that's the smart move when you get a couple rows back for sure.
Is that different between Xfinity and Cup?
It is. I think the bottom works a little better for a Cup car, mainly because the side force that works on these race cars. The cars are out in the air, and if you put someone on your door and you lose all that side force, the inside lane really suffers.
Interesting as we come to this. So you would, in these cars, Connor Zilich picking the outside of the even number lengths makes sense because he keeps air in his car.
I think so. We'll find out.
Field right now makes their way into the restart zone. Green flag goes back in the air. Brandon Jones on the outside lane may have spun the tires just a bit. Got that outside lane jumbled up and discombobulated. They race to turn 1.
He is on the comeback trail, though, and jumps to the outside of Justin Allgaier. Actually puts a finger up. This time around, Brandon Jones will get it going. He's got the lead off turn 2.
Justin Allgaier rides in the second position. Sam Mayer to the inside of Sammy Smith. The battle is on for third, and Connor Zilich making that a three-way shuffle.
Sam Mayer has third. Sammy Smith has fourth. Connor Zilich is about to turn him coming off the corner. Sammy Smith will chase the car up the racetrack. Zilich makes a beeline to the bottom of the racetrack with Taylor Gray and Austin Hill looking on.
Connor Zilich absolutely shoehorning his way to the inside of the Sammy Smith automobile. He'll take over the fourth spot. Smith now under the gun from Taylor Gray and Austin Hill.
Here comes a challenge for the lead. It's Justin Allgaier racing out of the pocket off the end of the backstretch, and he goes blasting by Brandon Jones.
A nice luxury for Justin Allgaier after giving up the lead on the restart is the fact that he's got a fast race car and a very good driving race car, Dave. He's right back at the top of the leaderboard.
Puts a car length between himself and the second place machine. Behind him, there's a three-man battle for 5th, 6th, and 7th. Austin Hill is on the move. He drives to the inside. Taylor Gray trying to move under Sammy Smith now.
Here's Sammy Smith to the high side. He's right behind Austin Hill, and Taylor Gray working by himself to the inside of that duo as that battle for 5th continues.
Watching Sammy Smith getting the shuffle backward coming off the corner. Taylor Gray and Austin Hill racing for a spot there. Gray will clear Hill. Now it's Sammy Smith that'll dive for the bottom of the racetrack, trying to ease by Austin Hill in a battle for 6th.
Smith with a bit of a crossover move, diving to the bottom, coming off turn 4. He will power by, take over the number 6 position, pull away from Austin Hill by a car length.
Then Rajah Caruth is behind Hill, so Caruth is 8th, Sheldon Creed is in 9th, and Dean Thompson completes the top 10.
Under the line, 23 to go here in stage number 2 of the Kansas Lottery 300. Things begin to tighten up at the front of the field again. Allgaier unable to drive away from second place Brandon Jones and third place Sam Mayer.
Brandon Jones just 2 car lengths back, and he's got some company now at the back door. Another car length and a half back to Sam Mayer, then 4 more to Connor Zilic.
All of that traffic working off turn number 2. Taylor Gray's another dozen car lengths or so back to complete the top 5. Then Sammy Smith and Austin Hill coming back into the corner, but it's Justin Allgaier in front.
Justin Allgaier, that is, leading coming off the corner, but Brandon Jones' mirrors are becoming more filled with Sam Mayer. Mayer closing in on Brandon Jones in what will be a battle for position number 2.
Either Justin Allgaier had a great last lap or Brandon Jones missed a turn, because what was just a 2-car length advantage is now more like 7 or 8. Brandon Jones feeling the heat now from Mayer.
Yes, Sam Mayer taking a look to the inside of the Brandon Jones machine. Now Jones responds to the challenge. Here comes Mayer again, about a half lane lower in the middle of the banking.
And he's going to be blocked by Brandon Jones on that. We talked a little bit about what little draft there is out there. Joey Logano, how challenging is it for a driver, and how capable are you to be able to use the air to block the driver behind you?
Depends on the driver, but it is definitely a play that you will use. And especially at a racetrack like this, there's a lot of lanes to try to defend, which makes it really challenging to do. But the other piece of it is there's a lot of comers and goers throughout the run, where you might have some cars that fire off really fast and then may fall off, or vice versa. You need to be able to maintain your track position just in case later on your car starts going fast. The last thing you want to do is let someone go, and then 5 laps later, now you're faster than that guy, and you got to pass them back. You're better off just defending and hopes that your car is going to get better soon.
Seeing a lot of that right now on the racetrack, but all eyes at the front of the field are on Justin Allgaier. His lead is now almost up to 1 full second over Brandon Jones. Sam Mayer, Connor Zilic, and Taylor Gray round out the top 5. Looking further back, Rajah Caruth has his hands full with Christian Eckes in turn 3.
Here's Eckes. Eckes is right down next to the white line, and Caruth working up closer to the safer barrier.
That's a good race there. 4 cars right together. Jesse Love is in that mix, as is a hard charging back there in the Justin Bonsignor driver. The NASCAR Whelen Modified champion is trying to make some noise for that Joe Gibbs Racing entry as we work lap number 71 as we check back down on pit road. Let's follow up in the Justin Allgaier pit. What's going on, Steve Post, with Allgaier?
During that caution period, Justin Allgaier radioed in to crew chief Jim Pullman and said, "Jim, I don't like what I'm feeling on the left side of the car. Did we get all of the lug nuts tightened up?" Jim went to the crew, they went and looked at the video, and he said, "Hey, everything is tight, everything should be good." They've ran the rest of this stage, and Justin just said, "It's not getting any worse, so hopefully we can make it to the end of this stage. 18 more laps to go," but it is a little bit of a concern, and I think Joey alluded to it earlier. It's that uncertainty of not knowing what that is, but that's the story on Justin Allgaier. He is the race leader, but has a vibration on the left side of that car.
Can't be the most comfortable thing to be feeling as the race leader, no, Joey?
No, and most likely, if it's not getting worse, it's probably just a wheel that's out of balance. Maybe it wasn't balanced as perfect as it needs to. If it starts getting worse, that's when you get really concerned. But if it's staying the same, I'd say he's probably good to go.
17 to go here in stage number 2. Justin Allgaier has a 1-second lead over Brandon Jones.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Savannah.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate Pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
Next 24 monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1/8/2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
No change at the front of the field. Justin Allgaier by 1 second over second place Brandon Jones. Sam Mayer is third. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Inspiring story.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. comes back to the Daytona International Speedway. He will win the Pepsi 400.
I'm just a pilot, man. You know, I just want everybody to be happy. I want to do good, and hopefully all of my dad's fans enjoyed this. This for all them.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast Junior's Journey. Jeff Gordon, a colorful career, 50 years of MRN, the 1993 season, the road to royalty, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
One last exhale.
Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We welcome you back here to Kansas Speedway and the Kansas Lottery 300. What a perfect day to go racing for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. 12 laps to go here in stage number 2. So before the green and white checkered flag goes in the air, let's let you know where your favorite driver is running. Brought to you by Straight Talk Wireless, official partner of NASCAR. Fans of fast get real unlimited data on reliable 5G with no contracts or hidden fees. Now at straighttalk.com and Walmart. Straight Talk Wireless.
Justin Allgaier's lead now 1.2 seconds over Brandon Jones. Sam Mayer rides in third. Connor Zilisch is fourth, and fifth is Taylor Gray. Sammy Smith is sixth. Seventh is Austin Hill. Eighth is Dean Thompson. Ninth is Sheldon Creed, and 10th is Justin Bonsignore.
Rajah Caruth is 11th. Jesse Love is 12th. Christian Eckes is 13th. William Sawalich is 14th. Nick Sanchez goes 15th. Brendan Queen is 16th. Harrison Burton is 17th. Patrick Starpoli is 18th. Ryan Sieg to 19th. And Carson Quappo back in 20th.
Anthony Alfredo is 21st. Parker Retzlaff is 22nd. Matt DiBenedetto is 23rd, with Daniel Dye 24th and Kyle Sieg in 25th. Blaine Perkins is 26th, the last car on the lead lap. First car one lap down at 27th is Brennan Poole. Leland Honeyman is 28th. Cole Raz 29th. And Austin Green is 30th.
Mason Massey is 31st. Jeremy Clements 32nd. 33rd is Ryan Ellis. Josh Williams goes 34th. Joey Gase is 35th. Garrett Smithley is 36th. Jeb Burton is 37th, 2 laps down. He's the last car running, finishing 38th, and the only car behind the wall is Nick Lights.
It's been quite a day for Justin Allgaier when he comes to the line. Right now, he will have led his 59th lap. We've completed 80. And once again, Alex, Junior Motorsports on mile-and-a-half racetracks have definitely come to life again.
Yeah, this is a team that's dominated the mile-and-a-halfs this season. Heck, you can say they've all but dominated the year. They've won 11 of the last 14 races with drivers like Justin Allgaier, Daniel Suarez, Connor Zilisch has won. Shane Van Gisbergen has won for Junior Motorsports. He did that on the streets at Chicago, so you're right about that. Junior Motorsports is putting together a whale of a 2025.
3 of the Junior Motorsports playoff drivers in the top 6 right now. The worst running is Carson Quappo, who is running back in the 21st position. So I would say that coming into Kansas Speedway, looking for their 17th win of the season, if something doesn't happen, a Junior Motorsports driver and car will definitely play into the ending of this race.
And you have to wonder about the youngster Carson Quappo. He's put together a nice rookie campaign. Yes, we understand what Connor Zilisch has done, and as Joey pointed out a little earlier in the broadcast, Connor Zilisch is just at a different level right now, but you can't sneeze at the season that Carson Quappo has done. But he is yet to get to victory lane. He certainly is capable as a driver. He's got the race team behind him, and you got to think, Mike, that's beginning to play in his head just a bit.
I would think it would. We're looking at the racetrack right now. We're looking at all the Junior Motorsports cars. They're running very well. You've obviously got some Joe Gibbs Racing cars, but Haas Factory team having a good day. Sam Mayer, while he's not led a lap, he's been pressing and challenging for the lead at times, especially on restarts. But once the green flag comes back out, that car fades. And right now he's in a comfortable spot on the racetrack in third.
With 6 to go in stage 2, the battle for 5th is on past the start-finish line. Here's Sammy Smith to the inside of Taylor Gray, headed to turn 1.
Smith takes it down below the white line, halfway to the grass to complete that pass. Slides through on the inside. drifts up on the banking. Gray trying to counterattack down low, but there's nothing there.
Sammy Smith just carefully, lap after lap, steadily working his way up through the top 10 to the top 5. Now with Taylor Gray trying to reclaim the spot, but to no avail.
5 laps to go in stage 2, and again, we're covering the battle for the number 5 position. Sammy Smith has just taken it away from Taylor Gray. And Dave, once he was able to take that spot, Sammy is slowly tiptoeing away from Taylor.
Yeah, he is pulled away now by about 3, maybe 4 car lengths. Taylor Gray was able to hold him up for a while, but once Sammy got the clean air on the nose, Kurt Becker, he is pulling away.
Yeah, that orange and black Chevrolet of Sammy Smith continues to increase the margin, having solidified that 5th position back to Taylor Gray, the white and yellow Toyota riding in 6th.
A hot, slippery track here at Kansas Speedway. Joey, the wind, we look at a big American flag between turns 1 and 2 beginning to pick up. Do you feel the wind here at Kansas?
Oh, you definitely feel the wind here, and it's blowing down into turn 3, so that tailwind, makes it go fast on the straightaway, but when you get to the corner, it's pushing you down into the corner. You don't have any downforce, and then it blows into the side of your car, which kind of blows you up the racetrack. Now you get the complete opposite effect as you go down into turn 1. You got a big headwind, you got a ton of downforce. You can drive in the corner way further, and you think you should be able to. It's always important. I always tell my spotter, tell me where the flag is. Tell me which way it's pointing. That way I know why the car is handling so different from end to end.
So you talk about something that you experience while you're in traffic, like heavy traffic. You feel that wind down the backstretch, but that side gust that we see here at Kansas, with no warning, how do you prepare for that, especially if you're in a heavy pack of traffic?
Yeah, you can't. Right, a gust, you can't see it coming, obviously, and it's crazy when it happens because you'll see all the cars in front of you blow up the racetrack at the same time. Everyone just goes sliding around. So it's you can shelter yourself a little bit if you get up next to the wall. You can shelter yourself from that wind a little bit, which is kind of crazy to think that you're going almost 200 miles an hour, that a gust of wind, but you think about, a 15, 20 mile an hour gust, it'll blow you around.
It will indeed, as Justin Allgaier, the race leader, works his way around the racetrack. Allgaier right now will come back to the line. He'll get ready to click off. Lap number 89 will begin the final lap of stage number 2 here in the Kansas Lottery 300. Here comes Allgaier in that Brant red Chevrolet. Flies by the start-finish line and hits back to 1.
Other than the start of the stage and the restart, it has been a walk in the park for Justin Allgaier, and even the restarts did not test him that strongly. He is all by himself, lap car ahead, but I doubt if he'll deal with it off turn 2.
Car of Joey Gase being that lap machine. Gase is now coming back into turn number 3. He will drop down toward the white line at the bottom side of the racetrack, and here comes Justin Allgaier to the high side.
Allgaier up against the safer barrier midway between turns 3 and 4. Now he'll swing wide up against the turn 4 wall. He'll cut that Chevrolet to the bottom of the racetrack. He'll cross the start-finish line and receive the green and white checkered flag. Justin Allgaier. He won stage 1. He wins stage 2. Behind him, Brandon Jones, Sam Mayer, Connor Zilisch, and Sammy Smith, the top 5, with Taylor Gray, Dean Thompson, Austin Hill, Sheldon Creed, and Justin Bonsignor rounding out the top 10 as the caution flag is flying for the 3rd time of the Kansas Lottery 300.
Just like a pit crew helps a driver reach victory lane, Ally helps you reach your financial goals. Ally has tools like savings buckets to keep your savings on track and savings boosters to put a little extra gas in your tank. Visit Ally.com to learn more about how you can grow your money fast. Savings buckets and boosters are features of the Ally Bank savings account. Ally Bank, member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart. Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
Pace car has picked up the field on the back straightaway. It'll be the opening of pit road here, coming up in a lap or so from Kansas Speedway. This is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Don't risk losing the trusted news, traffic, sports, and weather you get from AM radio stations. It's time to make your voice heard. We need Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars. When internet and cell services are out, AM could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179 and tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
The message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Looking for weekly motorsports podcasts to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
Back at Kansas Speedway, pit road is about to open up, and we expect everybody to come down pit road. By the way, programming update, be sure to join us at 2 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow. NASCAR Live Race Day will be on the air. We'll have coverage of the Hollywood Casino 400 for the Cup cars, the middle race, and the round of 12 before everybody packs up and heads back east, back home to the Bank of America Roval 400 at Charlotte Motor Speedway, which will be another elimination race and will set up the drivers that will race in the round of 8 for the NASCAR Cup Series playoffs.
And then it's off to Las Vegas Motor Speedway, and those two weekends will be with our friends at the Performance Racing Network. They'll have you covered there on the radio, and after that we'll pick the schedule back up at the Talladega Super Speedway on to Martinsville, Virginia, and wrap things up championship weekend out in the desert at Phoenix Raceway, as we will not get pit lane open this time by, so we'll go around the racetrack at least one more time before pit road opens up.
Of course, earlier today we had practice and qualifying for the Hollywood Casino 400. Chase Briscoe scoring his 7th pole of 2025. Joey, a 400-mile Cup race at Kansas. You've won it. You've won it with Todd. You've won it twice here. Actually 3 times, total of 5 wins at Kansas Speedway. Where would you rank Kansas Speedway with the other mile-and-a-half racetracks on the circuit?
Oh, every track's so unique. But this one is definitely pretty fun because of the different line options. As a race car driver, that's what you want. You want to have an opportunity to say, oh, I want to try and be able to run the top. There's a car in front of me. Okay, now can I move back down to the bottom? Can I make something happen? Maybe my car doesn't handle really good on the bottom. I'll move around and give yourself an opportunity to try to make some speed. That's what's fun about racetracks like this, because it's not just buried to one lane.
Todd, do you agree Kansas is one of those top-of-the-list tracks?
No, it definitely is. It definitely is. I love the fact that you can go places and figure out where your race car can work. You can work traffic, and there's technical pieces like wrapping the paint here. Seems like it starts to come back to place. Running up at the wall, running off the wall, finding that error, like Joey talked about earlier, that turn-down lane that guys are using, finding ways to use a racetrack to make your car better. You've got opportunity there to have an impact.
And, of course, wrapping the paint means pinning the car at the bottom of the racetrack and riding that white line all the way through turns 3 and 4. Pit road is open, and here they come. All the cars on the lead lap right now are pitting. Pit stops taking place at lap 93. We'll start with Chris.
Running second is Brandon Jones, still chasing after Justin Allgaier. He said, I'm still way too tight on corner entry and center of the corner. They're going to make an air pressure adjustment, 4 tires and Sunoco fuel for the Joe Gibbs Racing Team. Also from Joe Gibbs, Taylor Gray said it snaps loose on exit. They make a right rear wedge adjustment. Here's the call from Jason Ratcliffe, 4 tires and fuel. Harrison Burton is in. Also, Sammy Smith said, leave me alone. Maybe a little air pressure, but I need to do a better job running the bottom. Steve Post.
Connor Zilich is in 4 tire Sunoco Racing fuel. He needs his car to turn better up off from turn number 2. 4 tire Sunoco Racing fuel as well for Sam Mayer. Going to be a little bit longer stop for Justin Allgaier. They needed to put a little tape on the grill, and they knew they were going to take a little time. He drops back to the 6th spot for the 2nd time. Brandon Jones wins the race off from pit road here on lap number 94.
So Justin Allgaier is going to have some work to do on the next restart, as we're down to 106 laps to go in the Kansas Lottery 300.
Relive the thrills of over 50 years of NASCAR racing with the Motor Racing Network's Classic Race.
36th Annual Southern 500. They come down to the start-finish line. Bill Elliott and David Pearson get down.
We dig into the MRN audio vault for unforgettable races and moments.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500.
Available on MRN.com and podcast platform.
Alan Kulwicki out of turn number 4, the new Winston Cup champion. He does it across the line.
MRN Classic Races.
The thrills of NASCAR racing from over 55 years of Motor Racing Network broadcasts.
Bobby Allison brings the race car right down in the middle of the track, crosses the start-finish line, and he will win the 24th Annual Daytona 500.
Bill Elliott wins the Hooters 500. Alan Kulwicki, 1992 champion.
MRN Classic Races.
In the whole pack, steaming for the finish line, Dale Earnhardt wins a Winston 500.
Find all the classic moments on MRN Classic Races on any podcast platform.
Here at Kansas Speedway, the cars a lap or more down have the opportunity to pit now as they take advantage of that. Race leader is Brandon Jones. Connor Zilisch is now second. Sam Mayer third. Sammy Smith is fourth, and Austin Hill is fifth. Justin Allgaier came off of pit road, as Steve Post reported, in the number 6 spot. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR history.
What I learned from Ken Squire, Barney Hall, and Ned Jarrett, I could never repay. Ken never told me what to say or what not to say. I learned very quickly that I was never going to be another Ken Squire. I don't think anybody could rise to that level.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcasts 50 years of MRN. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Drivers, start your engines!
Your home for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series.
Green flag goes in the air and we are underway.
On the NASCAR Racing Network.
2 by 2 by 2. They're about 10 rows deep of double wide racing. Taylor Gray to the bottom. Nick Sanchez outside, and they're crashing mid-pack.
It's the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series on the NASCAR Racing Network.
Welcome back, Kansas Speedway, as we work the caution flag for the third time. This for the end of stage number 2, which was won by Justin Allgaier. As NASCAR returns to its backyard next week, our friends at Spire Motorsports invite you to join them for their annual Fan Day. That's coming up Thursday, October 2nd from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. This year's event includes an autograph session with drivers Justin Haley, Michael McDowell, Carson Hocevar, Rajah Caruth, and Tristan McKee. Other attractions include raffles, prizes, free swag, food samples, team show cars on display, and so much more. Once again, it's the Spire Motorsports Fan Day, Thursday, October 2nd, from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. at the Spire Motorsports headquarters in Mooresville, North Carolina.
Of course, a lot of activities surrounding the Bank of America Roval 400. It's always good for all the teams to go home. I know a lot of race fans pop into the Charlotte area, and there's an increase of traffic and activity. What's your thoughts on racing at the Roval next weekend? Once you clear Kansas, you go back home, sleep in your own bed, and then you get to race on the Roval.
It is nice to sleep in your own bed. You said that. And my thoughts will probably change depending on how tomorrow goes. Right?
Fair enough.
That's how you come up with your plan, is to see where you are from the cut line. What do we got to do when we get there? But it is a fun weekend in Charlotte. What's also neat is you brought up fans, showing up early, because if you're a true race fan, there's a lot of things to see there, right? Whether it's the NASCAR Hall of Fame, going out to see some of the events at the racetrack, appearances, fan days like we just heard, or just going to see the race shops, right? Going to walk around and see the different ones. They're all unique in their own way. I haven't been to many. I don't get invited to many outside of just Penske, but I heard they're all unique in their own way.
Todd, as a manager of a crew, when you're a crew chief out there racing at Charlotte, does that make things a little more difficult, or is it still an easy thing with the crew?
I hated it. I hated racing at Charlotte because, and I'll put it on the piece that we saw this weekend. At our hotel, the Kansas Jayhawks have a home football game. but their whole football team is in our hotel to keep the rhythm and the routine. When you go to Charlotte, everybody's not at the hotel. They're not riding in the vans together. They're not doing the things that we do. And you have the distraction when you're going to that bed, you've got family around you. It's different. It takes the focus off the race weekend differently than what we do at normal weekends, and we love routines. This takes our routine away.
Absolutely. I used to go to the racetrack and sleep in my motorhome, even though I was home. I have kids now, so I don't do that. But I used to do that a lot.
Just to keep the routine the same so that you race the same way as you did 35 other weekends earlier.
Right.
Unfortunately for the Jayhawk football team, they lost one today in a Big 12 matchup to the Cincinnati Bearcats, 37-34.
They should have stayed home. Right now, the field is lined up for the restart. Coming out of turn number 4, pace car is on pit road. 102 laps to go. Brandon Jones and Connor Zilich will start side by side on the front row. Green flag is back up, and old Connor Zilich is going to give Brandon Jones a run for his money. That's because Sam Mayer is in Connor Zilich's trunk on the inside, headed to 1.
He has shoved him all the way to turn 1 and all the way to the lead. Connor Zilich to the number 1 spot. Brandon Jones trying to fight back on the outside. Zilich throws the block.
Here's Sam Mayer to the inside. He's just trying to hang on to third. He was going for second. Now here's Sammy Smith rumbling up to the outside in turn 4.
Dean Thompson slid up off turn 2, bounced off the outside wall, got everybody jumbled up mid-pack on back. Up front, Connor Zilich, big surprise. Stop me if you've heard this one, Dave. He leads.
He leads, but only by 3 car lengths, so there's still hope for the rest of the world. Jones rides in second. Another car length back to Sammy Smith in the side-by-side battle for 4th.
That's where Sam Mayer now wrestles the spot away from Austin Hill, who slides back into the 5th position as Justin Allgaier closes in from 6th, coming off the end of the backstretch.
Here they come now off turn number 4. Connor Zilich, Brandon Jones, 2-car breakaway in first and second. Traffic stacking up from third on back. Sammy Smith has third. Sam Mayer 4th. Here comes Austin Hill. He'll take a sniff of the outside lane in 1.
Trying to rim ride around the outside lane, and he's got a trunk full of Justin Allgaier as he tries to do it. Sam Mayer, the only man in the bottom lane, and he is losing ground.
Here comes Mayer trying to regroup and move back up the inside in that ongoing battle for the 4th position. Austin Hill to the outside, and then Justin Allgaier climbs the banking behind him.
Allgaier lost the nose of his Chevrolet, washed up the racetrack. Now he's going to yank the steering wheel to driver's left, try to cut down the hill. Can't get the momentum. For the moment, he's going to have to remain patient back to turn 1.
Justin Allgaier in that number 6 spot, but they are side by side in front of him. Mayer on the bottom, Austin Hill on the top. Not all the way to the top, though, and that allows Allgaier to sneak a peek up high.
Austin Hill's right ahead of him, and then there's Sam Mayer to the inside. Again, this is all going on from the 4th position on back. That scramble continues off turn 4.
Well, if Justin Allgaier wants to go up the middle, it's more than open for him to do so, but he won't. He'll slide up behind Austin Hill as Hill and Mayer continue their side-by-side battle. Now Allgaier will cast his lot with Hill on the outside.
Meanwhile, the battle for the lead is heating up. Brandon Jones has reeled in Connor Zilich. He's going to look to the inside as they exit turn number 2.
Brandon Jones just continues to close in on the race leader, although Zilich does still have the lead, but for how long? Here comes Brandon Jones. He drops it down low into turn number 3.
And here they come, the battle for the race lead off turn number 4. Brandon Jones, twice a winner here at Kansas Speedway in his career, trying to get the lead back. Connor Zilich will fend him off one more time as they go back to the corner.
The experience advantage clearly belongs to Brandon Jones. He's going to go to the top of the racetrack this time, varying his line, trying to find something that works as he tries to track down Zilich.
Zilich still has the lead midpoint of the back straightaway. Brandon Jones now goes back to work again. Tried to make the move in turn 3 last time by, didn't work, and this time he follows the tire track.
And it's very important right now for Brandon Jones to make this pass as quickly as possible, because remember, Justin Allgaier, he's moving his way through the field. We know he has the fastest car on the racetrack. Brandon Jones has had the second best car today. He needs to get that lead and run while he can.
Right now, that's what he's doing. Brandon Jones from the top of turn number 2 gets a run. He's going to take a run at Connor Zilich for the lead on the backstretch.
Zilich lets his Chevrolet just float from left to right up to the outside. Safer barrier shuts off the advance of Brandon Jones, but Jones is still right there.
Georgia native Brandon Jones looks inside, looks outside for the moment, has to follow in the tire tracks of Connor Zilich. What are they saying on the radio, Chris, about Brandon Jones?
Well, so far it's been pretty good. We talked about over the course of the afternoon, Brandon Jones has been struggling with the turn, but he and Sam McCauley came up with a game plan before the race. They wanted to focus their attention on the changes to the racetrack, not take too big of swings because of how we've typically seen this race have several long different runs. And that's what you've seen here. Slow but steady progress, adjusting to the racetrack changes, racing the racetrack, and now finding a sweet spot aboard that Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota just at the right time here in Stage 3. As the battle for the lead continues, really happy handling of the race car from Brandon Jones, the two-time winner, trying to be a three-time winner here today.
Took a peek to the inside off turn 4 again, lost the nose of his race car and gives up a car length and a half to Connor Zilic with 94 laps to go.
So I just switched to Straight Talk Wireless.
Uh-oh, we just ran out of gas.
Great, gives us time to watch the race.
You know the next town is 50 miles away, right?
Don't worry, I have real unlimited data now.
But how are we going to get out of here?
We got about 200 laps before we need to figure that out.
Get a free 5G phone with select plans and real unlimited data only for a limited time at Straight Talk. Available at your local Walmart and StraightTalk.com. Straight Talk is an official partner of NASCAR. Taxes and fees apply. Require single line activation on a qualifying plan for network management practices. Visit StraightTalk.com. Copyright 2025 Verizon. NASCAR is a registered trademark of the National Association for Stock Car Auto Racing, LLC.
Hi, folks. Kyle Petty here. I want to tell you about a place that's dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by making a donation today. Any amount will help kids attend camp for free. Help make a difference by visiting victoryjunction.org/donate.
Connor Zilic's lead now begins to grow. It was 2 car lengths up to 7 now over second place Brandon Jones, and a goodly distance back to third place Sammy Smith. Fourth on the racetrack is Austin Hill, and Justin Allgaier rounds out the top 5. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
We're at the start-finish line.
William Byron on pole position. Green flag is out and we're racing.
We're in the turn.
Here to the inside comes Kyle Larson. He and Hamlin bump.
We're on pit road.
4-tire Sunoco Racing Fuel. The race out from pit road is Denny Hamlin. Eric Jones goes on second.
We are live from the track. The Motor Racing Network, your home for NASCAR racing. Don't miss a lap, pit stop, or side-by-side race for the win. Listen to all the play-by-play action on your local radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
As we welcome you back to the Kansas Lottery 300 here on the Motor Racing Network, the lead for Connor Zilic has begun to grow even more. It's up to 1 full second over second place Brandon Jones. You know, we were talking a moment ago about the fastest car on the track, and Justin Allgaier. He's been the dominant car. He's led 75 of the 111 laps, but after a slow pit stop, he's been mired back in traffic. So, Joey Logano, if you're the fastest car on the track, why can't you just drive up and pass everybody?
Well, there's a lot more to it than just that, right? And when you're out front, you're able to manage your tires, manage your car, take care of it, run the line you want to run, and it just keeps compounding, right? As you go along longer in a run, the reward of taking care of your car starts to show. Justin Allgaier had the advantage of doing that the first half of this race. Now he started 6th. He fell back because of the pit stop and putting tape on the grill, and he didn't make as much time as he needed to on the restart. He's burnt his tires up. He's ticked his car off a little bit. His tires are angry at him. And he's just kind of there. He's not going forward anymore. He's kind of settled right there in 4th or 5th. And Todd, it begs the question, was it worth putting tape on the grill and losing all that track position?
If it costs you that amount of time on pit road, no, it doesn't. Because, I mean, you talk about it. A car in dirty air, and we say dirty air, it's kind of like a boat, right? A car has a wake behind it. And if you're driving in that, you probably lose, if you're within 3-4 car lengths, you lose 15-20% of your downforce. Well, that piece of tape might have made 3 or 4%. They've made a net negative out of this by not making. Now, if Justin uses a restart, gets himself to 2nd, it's an ad. but you've got to be able to make that big a jump, and they weren't able to do that.
Right now he is 5th on the leaderboard. He is 5 seconds behind the race leader, Steve Post. I'm sure there will be opportunities to come to pit road to get that car better, or maybe exercise some gamesmanship to get him closer to the front, no?
Well, we'll see how the strategy goes, that's for sure on this one. Where we're at here as far as tires go, each of the teams have 2 sets of sticker Goodyear tires here on pit road. We're 86 laps from the end, so the fuel window will open at about 60 laps to the end. So in about 15 laps, the fuel window will open. Anytime after that, we could open up the floodgates to see pit stops. Talking with the crew chiefs, if it stays green, they're looking at probably splitting this final stage. Somewhere lap 145 to 150 is when they would stop. Where the nice part about it is with the extra set of tires, and this is one more than they usually have, if we were to get a caution now, they could come down and put tires on, and then they'd still have a set to make it to the finish. So crew chiefs across the board very happy with the additional tire set that they have, and that leaves them with 2 now, so that we'll see if we need to use both of them over the balance of this race.
Well, I think, Steve, as you talk about that, as me thinking about being a crew chief, I think I'm going to use both sets of those tires. So as soon as I get in the fuel window where I know I'm not penalizing myself to end up a lap down, I'm going to pit planning on a caution or something else coming later. That way I'm cycling forward if I'm not the leader.
And the alternate strategy to that would be splitting this run right down the center, which will probably be, if it stays green, that would be the fastest way, but you're planning on it going green the whole way. Todd's way would be, as soon as you can, put tires on it and bank on a caution later on to where you don't ever get the penalty of running really long on the second run of this run.
We've only had 3 cautions in today's race. 2 of those were for the stage breaks. Justin Allgaier has won both stages in today's race. Second time this year he's swept the stages. The other time was at Nashville Super Speedway, where he went on to win the race.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about. Win at Talladega. Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
Gotta go.
Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Here's a tale of Becky. Didn't know what to do with new meds prescribed and no real cost clue.
She squinted at prices, that can't be right. Then tapped GoodRx and saw the light.
She could get a deal, book telehealth if she feels.
Learn about those meds without any stress. That one little app does all the rest. Even my horse downloaded it. Dang, save time and money on prescriptions.
Check GoodRx. GoodRx is not insurance.
Connor Zilich's lead is 1.3 seconds now over second place Brandon Jones. Sammy Smith is third, Austin Hill fourth. Justin Allgaier is fifth, but as talked about a moment ago, there's impending pit stops and some strategy to come into play before the checkered flag flies. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
More than 200 members of Congress are standing up for AM radio listeners. The AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act will keep AM radio in cars, because when cell and internet services are down, this free service could be your only lifeline. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass this critical legislation now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Don't miss a moment of the NASCAR season.
Chastain drove it and never lifted. Put it against the safer barrier and all the way around the turn. Passes Denny Hamlin.
Check out the Motor Racing Network's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, the NASCAR Xfinity Series, and the NASCAR Cup Series on hundreds of local radio stations around the country. Find your local station by going to MRN.com to catch the excitement of NASCAR on the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
Here in the Kansas Lottery 300 at Kansas Speedway, 77 laps to go. Next time by, Connor Zilich up front. Brandon Jones is second. And, you know, you think about Connor Zilich. We've talked about this season for Connor Zilich. He missed a race. He missed Texas earlier this year after a hard crash the week before in Talladega Superspeedway where he injured his back. In races 1 through 11, including Talladega, he had one top 5 finish. That was a win at Circuit of the Americas, and only 3 top 10s. He averaged a finish of only 17th in the first 11 races. But after sitting out with the back injury at Texas, when he's come back, his average finish is 2.1, which is absolutely remarkable.
And after scoring that win at COTA, he has won at Pocono, Sonoma, Dover, Indianapolis, Watkins Glen, Daytona, Portland, and Worldwide Technology Raceway. If he takes the checkered flag today, it'll be his 10th win of 2025. Just amazing, the tear this young man's been on.
It is, and the thing about it is he's doing it on all types of racetracks, whether it's intermediate tracks, whether it's a road course, it doesn't matter. Connor Zilisch just seemed to adapt quite well, Todd, to just about any circumstance.
Yeah, he's become a great race car driver, and that's just impressive that to excel at the road courses, that's a unique set of circumstances. But then to turn that around, and that turnaround, after Texas, I don't think he's finished outside the top 5 since then, right? Had that injury, had to sit at Talladega, had to sit out Texas, and has come back, and every race has been a top 5 finish since then. Just incredible to go to ovals, unique ovals, one at Dover. It just seems like those are places that it doesn't make sense that somebody from outside the sport came to.
And it's not just the back injury he had at Talladega. Remember, he broke his collarbone in Victory Lane at Watkins Glen. So the young man's had to go through some injuries this year, but he's still being able to put up phenomenal numbers.
Well, you said it, too. He's very, very young. But when you're putting numbers up like that, how do you not move him up, right? And he is, but he is, and he should be. But, I feel like I've hurt sometimes other young drivers because they've seen the first couple years of my Cup career where I was doing good in Xfinity, got the Cup, and was like, oh, my goodness. I don't think Connor Zilisch is in the same league. I think he's going to jump right in there and be pretty competitive right off the bat.
I really liked your progression. I thought it worked out great.
Yeah, it worked out good once I got to Penske.
And once you got a certain crew chief atop your war wagon, right?
Exactly.
Yeah, driver talent was there. I think, likewise, you have to dampen our expectations out of what Connor will do in Cup. It's a different car. It's a different feel. You've experienced this. They're different than the Xfinity cars. But his talent should get him there through 100 or so races.
Absolutely. I mean, I think you see so many times in any sport, the biggest jump you're going to make is from one level down to the top, because everybody in that top level they're dogs. I mean, they are really, really good. And if you put them down in the Xfinity level, they would smoke everybody every week because they're that good. You'll see that, but that's one thing we see different with the Xfinity Series these days is that you don't have the Cup guys in there to make that comparison to anymore.
I know that one of the things that's been talked about is perhaps next year allowing Cup drivers to run in more NASCAR Xfinity Series, or what will then be the NASCAR O'Reilly Auto Parts races or Auto Parts Series. You've run in those races. Is that something that would interest you? What do you think about maybe more Cup involvement on Saturdays than we've seen in a while?
Personally, I'd be all about it. I want to go racing. I think also for these drivers that are out here, it's good to race against some of those guys that they're going to be racing against on Sundays, possibly someday. It's a good benchmark for them. It's a good way for them to learn. I always enjoyed that part when I ran Xfinity.
In my tenure of being at Team Penske, of being an active crew chief, we always felt like the Xfinity race, places like this, we would put on our schedule because there was overlap. There was tendencies that you would learn on Saturday that could play to Sunday. With where the Gen 7 car is, have we lost that for you guys? Is it just the competitive part, or is there still some of the race tendencies that play through?
It's mainly just wanting to race. I just want to drive a race car. I think it's that simple. The cars are much, much different, and there's still a lot of opportunity for growth, not just for the driver, though, but for the team members, right? And I know the pit crew's a little harder because they got the 5 lugs over here versus the 1 lug, and the pit stop's different. But for crew members working on the car, crew chiefs and stuff like that, their Xfinity Series still is a good place for people to kind of get groomed into the Cup level.
And I go back to what Kyle Larson said a little earlier this year. When he gets the opportunity to run in the Xfinity Series, he wants to smoke these drivers, to let them know exactly what the difference is from being a Cup Series driver to an Xfinity Series driver as well.
I think that's funny. I love it.
on the racetrack right now. Connor Zilich's lead only 0.7 of a second over Brandon Jones. 69 laps to go, and around the pit stops on the way as well.
Looking for motorsports coverage you can't find anywhere else? Look no further than the Motor Racing Network's lineup of weekly podcasts. NASCAR news and interviews on NASCAR Live and NASCAR Live Wide Open. NASCAR Cup Series Insight on Crew Call. NASCAR Grassroots Racing News and Talk on NASCAR Coast to Coast. And Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. All these and more available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
80 million listeners depend on AM radio to always be on, delivering news, sports, talk, traffic, and weather reports you can trust. AM radio also delivers vital emergency information when you need it most. Text AM to 39179. Tell Congress to pass the AM Radio for Every Vehicle Act to keep AM radio in cars.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
67 laps to go here at the Kansas Speedway. We've been talking a lot about Connor Zilich, the most recent leader, but the driver that's led the most laps this afternoon in Justin Allgaier, he has had his hands full. We're going to check in with his pit in a moment. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
NASCAR history.
Petty wins his 200th career NASCAR victory.
Told by the people who made that history.
President Reagan was there. He got us on the front page, and we got him in the sports page. It was a good trade-off from that standpoint.
Motor Racing Network's NASCAR Live presents podcast The Road to Royalty. Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, 50 Years of MRN, the 1993 season, Junior's Journey, and more. Search for NASCAR Live on your favorite podcast platform.
Do you have an unused car, truck, motorcycle, boat, or RV taking up space? Put it to good use by donating it to the NASCAR Foundation. Proceeds help fund medical resources for children in our racing community. Your wheels can heal. Call 844-NASCAR-9 and we'll come tow away your vehicle for free. The process is quick and your gift is tax deductible. Call 844-NASCAR-9 to donate your vehicle to the NASCAR Foundation today. Your donation will help our children survive and thrive.
Back at Kansas Speedway, a moment ago we told you Justin Allgaier has had his hands full in recent laps. Steve Post, what's the story?
Well, he had his hands full in recent laps, and then he went out and scuffed his race car against the outside wall. Now, they've checked the car over. The spotters looked at it. They've had the photos from Chevrolet sent to Jim Pullman on the pit box, and they don't feel like there's any damage to the race car. But it was a tense moment when Justin Allgaier got up into the fence about 5 or 6 laps ago.
Challenge for the race lead in front of Kurt Becker.
Brandon Jones off the end of the backstretch takes the lead away from Connor Zilich, but Zilich just responded.
The lane is left open. Here comes Connor Zilich back to the inside of the racetrack. Zilich will lead that lap. Lap traffic directly ahead.
Connor Zilich launches the counterattack with a crossover move. He'll go to the inside. Brandon Jones to the outside. The lap machine of Jeremy Clements dead ahead on the back straightaway.
Brandon Jones, the race leader, as Zilich now backs away and gets back into line behind Jones. So Zilich to the second spot as Brandon Jones shows the way coming to turn 4.
Looking to the inside again is going to be Connor Zilich. Half a car width lower on the racetrack. Can't get there to the left rear quarter panel. Battle for the race lead continues. Past start finish line. 62 laps to go.
Still got a lap or two until the lap traffic comes into play. Connor Zilich would like to take advantage of that. Brandon Jones, though, has pulled away by about a car length. He'll move down the banking to block the inside challenge.
So as a result, Connor Zilich, who started to move to the inside, now gets back up to driver's right next to the safer barrier. They all begin to close in on lap traffic straight ahead. Jeremy Clements.
Jeremy Clements directly ahead of the race leader. Jones went wide, did not hit the wall, came very close to it, and Connor Zilich is there. You've got the lap car of Clements, Jones, then Zilich. Ongoing battle for the lead, 61 to go.
Jones dials up the low line. He will bypass the lap machine of Jeremy Clements on entry into turn number 1. Connor Zilich trying to do the same as they exit 2.
Zilich has room to work down to the inside of the Clements lap car. Now he finds some more momentum. Zilich does, starts to move up to the inside. Penske's car down to the bottom side of the racetrack, working up through that second position.
While the lead duo mixes it up for not only the lead, but through lap traffic, that's enabled Justin Allgaier to begin to close in a little bit more. He's in the 4th spot. Allgaier's car seems to found some pace. He's changed his line just a bit, but we can't take our eyes off the battle for the lead.
Here they come into turns 1 and 2. Brandon Jones leads the way, and he's actually broken away now by about 5 car lengths.
Here's Cole Raz's lap machine is separating the leader from second place Connor Zilisch, the leader, of course, being Brandon Jones. Jones moves up to the top side of the banking over to turn 4 and heads back to start finish.
Jones slides up to the outside wall, then as he's exiting the corner, kind of angles that Toyota Supra towards the bottom of the racetrack. That allows him to get some good momentum and pull away from Zilisch in the process.
And he's got to need every inch of that open ground between himself and Zilisch, because there are 3-lap cars dead ahead. Leland Honeyman will be first in line. Next, Matt DiBenedetto.
Those 2 cars straight ahead for the race leader, Brandon Jones, as he comes to the entry of turn number 3. Packed lap cars now stack up to the high side and to the bottom side as well.
Green flag, pit stops begin. 3rd place runner Sam Mayers in front of Steve Post.
Lap number 141, Jason Trincherry, the crew chief, pulled the trigger on the pit stop. Going to be 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel on this one. No visible adjustments. They're very happy. They've got a top 5 running car, and there he goes. He is down and away. Cole Raz also gets pit service here on this lap.
This should open the floodgates of pit stops. Here comes Sheldon Creed. He'll make the move onto pit lane. Lap 143, 40 miles an hour for Creed, and that Ollie's machine headed to Steve Post.
Great stuff, cheap is what it says on the front of the car. It's the Ollie's bright yellow and red machine. He's been a little bit loose all day long. Right side work is done. Quickly around to the left side of that automobile. A pump and a half of the jack. Looks like left side tires off. Little slow on the right rear. Little slow, left rear is a little slow on the left rear as Sheldon Creed is down and away.
Here's Justin Allgaier, Jesse Love, Taylor Gray, and Chris Wilner.
Taylor Gray comes to a stop. His pit crew has been flawless so far after the malfunction on the pit gun in stage number 1. Crew already down on the right side. Chassis wrench in the rear window for an adjustment. Taylor Gray said, I just can't get the car to turn off at turn number 4. He's right on the cut line coming into this weekend. Flawless stop for the pit stop, boys. How about you, Steve Post?
Jesse Love is in, brings the Wheelins car in. They need a better handle on that race car. It's very loose. He cannot get down in the corners. 4 tires in Sunoco Racing Fuel. 2 pit boxes in front of him. A burnout for Justin Allgaier. 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. No adjustment on the Allgaier car. These pit stops here on lap number 144. Chris Wilner, more cars in front of you.
Brandon Jones down and away, nearly got collected on the exit release. He came on the radio and said this was the worst car has been on exit. They made a chassis adjustment and air pressure. 4 tires and fuel. Sammy Smith on the money stop. Another good pit stop for the Junior Motorsports boys. He was protecting his right front, said I need to be tightened up just a little bit. Steve?
Dustin Bonsignor brings the Joe Gibbs Racing Toyota Camry in, or Toyota Supra in, to the attention of the crew. Going to be 4 tires in Sunoco Racing Fuel, and here comes Connor Zilisch. Tugs the wheel to the left, right into the pit box, stops on the signboard. Here they are around to the right side of the car. He said the car over the course of that run got a little bit tight late in the day. A 1-turn chassis adjustment. Now around to the left side. Sunoco Fuel is plugged in to the Connor Zilisch car. 4 tires. Sunoco Fuel is in as they wait, and maybe a little slow on the left front. 4 tires and fuel. The call for Connor Zilisch here on lap 145.
Anthony Alfredo's been in for service. Parker Retzloff is in. Austin Green is in. And Rajah Caruth is in front of Chris.
Rajah Caruth, true, already done on the right side. 4 tire change and fuel. Boy, he's been an aggressive driver all day today. He's picked his way through inside the top 10 in the HendrickCars.com Chevrolet. He's down and away. Austin Green here as well. A lap ago was Austin Hill, who drove his way to the top 5. Another great pit stop for the RCR crew. 4 tires and fuel.
William Sawalich from the number 5 position brings his car to pit road as well. He comes to a rest in front of Chris Wilner.
Another opportunity for William Sawalich to prove that he belongs in the Xfinity Series. He qualified up towards the front, been battling in traffic with an ill-handling race car. They made adjustments the last pit stop. Jeff Mendering said, go on my mark. He's down and away. William Sawalich with 4 tires and fuel.
That will turn the lead over to Nick Sanchez, who comes to the pit lane for his service. Now Christian Eckes will assume the lead. Brendan Butterbean Queen is yet to make his stop. He's on the racetrack along with Kyle Sieg, Carson Kvapil, and Ryan Sieg as drivers that have still yet to visit pit lane. So we're cycling through green flag pit stops. 53 laps to go. Alice, the biggest thing, been no penalties of speeding, no penalties of anything else that warrant these drivers coming back to the pit lane.
Yeah, you're right about that. And as this has cycled around, Brandon Jones right now is the highest running of those who have made a pit stop. He's back in the 9th position. Then it's Sammy Smith, and then Connor Zilisch and Sam Mayer and Justin Allgaier. So Brandon Jones's pit crew, like they did earlier in the race, rips off another beauty of a pit stop to get themselves in position.
So we continue to cycle through green flag pit stops. 52 to go right now. Christian Eckes leads.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Sildana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro. On them, it's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
24 monthly bill credits on experience beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended, balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99 and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Oak Grove Speed Test Intelligence data 1H 2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Harrison Burton is on pit road, so is Christian Eckes, so is Carson Kvapil. That turns the lead over to Butterbean Queen, waiting for 2 more cars to cycle through for their green flag pit stops, and that will then return the lead to Brandon Jones. So with 50 laps to go, it's Butterbean Queen, Ryan Sieg, Eckes, Jones, and Daniel Dye as we are about to wrap up green flag pit stops in the Kansas Lottery 300. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
One last exhale. Fitting, isn't it? The final shot at the Championship 4 comes down to a track that's been here from day one. Martinsville. Close quarters, tight corners, and a fan experience that brings you so close to the action, all of the mayhem will be right at your fingertips. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Martinsville Speedway, October 23rd through the 26th. Get your tickets now at martinsvillespeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
We are the voice of NASCAR.
The green flag is in the air, and we are underway. The Great American Race.
The Motor Racing Network. NASCAR Cup, Xfinity, and Craftsman Truck Series Racing live on your hometown radio station and MRN or NASCAR.com. Martinsville, Talladega, the Chicago Street Course. We have the side-by-side action and last lap passes for the win.
Photo finishes. Ryan Blaney will win.
The voice of NASCAR, the Motor Racing Network.
You both have it.
Back at Kansas Speedway, we continue under the green flag. Right now, Brendan Butterbean Queen is leading, but he's yet to come to pit road. He is one of 2 drivers that have yet to come down pit lane for service, the other being Daniel Dye. But, Alex, when we cycle back through, Brandon Jones will return to the top of the leaderboard.
Yeah, and Brandon Jones, you gotta really tip your cap to the pit crew and to Brandon himself, because drivers play a big role in getting on the pit lane and accelerating back up to speed after they pass that yellow line to end pit road speed down there. And you got to go all the way around the apron of the racetrack to turn 2 and onto the backstretch to blend back in. It was extremely well executed by Brandon Jones and that crew. You know, they came to pit road with a 1.4 second lead and left pit road with a 2.6 second lead over Sammy Smith and 4 seconds ahead of Connor Zilisch.
Let's pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Motor Racing Network. Back at Kansas Speedway, trouble on the back straightaway. Justin Bonsignor will find the inside wall on the backstretch, and that will put us under the caution flag in the Kansas Lottery 300. Motor Racing Network here with the call. Mike Bagley, Todd Gordon, Alex Hayden, Joey Logano with you topside, Dave Moody and Kurt Becker in the corners, Steve Post and Chris Wilner in the pits and the garage area. Dave, as soon as we were coming out of the station ID, I happened to look over, and Justin Bonsignor was all kinds of crossed up coming out of turn 2.
That's about the time I picked up on it too, Mike. It's been an eventful last few laps. About 5 laps before he came to pit road, he got extremely loose in turn number 2, scuffed up the right rear in pretty good fashion on the outside wall. This time around, and unless you saw something that I didn't, that was just a solo spin coming off turn 2.
Yeah, it was a tough break for Justin Bonsignor. He was racing hard. He got contact in the left rear from Nick Sanchez. It looked like Bonsignor may have checked up just a smidge, but Nick Sanchez absolutely came up the racetrack and clipped the left rear of Justin Bonsignor, sent him sliding and down inside wall. Hard contact there, head on into the inside safer barrier. All 4 tires came off the ground on the impact, but the car rocketed back out onto the apron of the track. Bonsignor making his 8th career NASCAR Xfinity Series start, NASCAR Whelen Modified Tour champion. He's had a bit of a rough go here in the NASCAR Xfinity Series.
He has. He's a well-accomplished modified driver, but he has had a lot of headwinds, as they say, in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Very talented race car driver, and looking forward to doing more of these starts, but obviously this one will not end the way he wanted it to end. It ends with nose contact into the safer barrier on the backstretch.
Hi, I'm Ryan Blaney, a third-generation race car driver, and I dedicate a lot of my time going fast. But when my grandpa was diagnosed with Alzheimer's, it was a very unexpected bump in the road for us. It's important to notice if older family members are acting differently or having trouble with routine tasks. Early detection of Alzheimer's can give your family time to explore support services and access available treatments. If you or your family are noticing changes, it could be Alzheimer's. Talk about seeing a doctor together. Visit alz.org/time to talk. A message from the Alzheimer's Association and the Ad Council.
We are getting ready to crown a champion.
Championship weekend is coming back to the desert.
Let's get this party started.
4 title races in 3 days means there will be a buzz in the air all weekend long. Whether from the grandstands, the infield experience, or the hillside, this is your chance to witness history and make championship caliber memories for the whole family. NASCAR Championship Weekend at Phoenix Raceway, October 31st through November 2nd. Get your tickets now at PhoenixRaceway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Back at Kansas Speedway, 43 laps to go in the Kansas Lottery 300. Pit road is open, and the biggest question, Alex, is who decides to come to pit road and who decides to stay out?
Yeah, they all have one more set of brand new Goodyear sticker tires with there'll be 42 laps to go this time by. I think we're going to see a little mix here, Todd.
I do too. I think if I'm a crew chief and I'm not one of the guys leading, I'm going to come and keep these scuffs for if I got to put them back on, but we'll see.
Right now, Brendan Butterbean Queen had stayed out on the racetrack. He will lead the field onto pit road. Brandon Jones, Connor Zilic, and others in front of Chris Wilner.
The money stop here for Brandon Jones. Said I was just a little bit too tight on the fire off, just a slight air pressure adjustment. The crew already completed with right side tire change. Now moving on to the left side. Taylor Gray is in for a 4-tire change and a windshield tear-off repair. How about Brendan Queen leading his first laps in Xfinity Series action? Pumped when that caution came out. He was going 62 laps under green flag conditions. He'll pit for 4 tires and fuel. Also down and away is Dean Thompson, and much more in front of Steve Post.
Connor Zilic is in, 4 tires Sunoco Racing Fuel. Sheldon Creed is in. Daniel Dye getting service. Here's Jesse Love getting service on his automobile. It'll be 4 tires, left side tires off, left side tires on. Sunoco Fuel is in, and there goes Jesse Love back onto the speedway.
Not everybody came to pit road. We'll reset the running order for you when it recycles around here in just a moment. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
The year was 1993. The NASCAR Cup Series season kicked off with the Dale and Dale Show at the Daytona 500.
Dale Jarrett's got the lead. He goes to the inside. Earnhardt's not going to get him. Dale Jarrett is going to win the Daytona 500 by STP. Earnhardt second.
The 1993 NASCAR Cup Series season. All the highs and lows. Relive them all on MRN's exclusive podcast, The 1993 Season. Available on podcast platforms and MRN.com.
Hi, I'm Kyle Petty, and I want to tell you about a place that's near and dear to my heart, Victory Junction. It's a year-round camp that gives kids with complex medical and physical conditions life-changing experiences that are fun, empowering, and always free for families. Please help Victory Junction support kids who need it the most by getting involved today. Whether you know a child who could benefit, want to volunteer, or join our team, you can be a part of something truly special. Learn more by visiting victoryjunction.org.
We welcome you back here to Kansas Speedway. Getting down to it, 41 laps to go here in the Kansas Lottery 300. Some twists, some turns, and some plot twists here as we get down to it with these last handful of laps in this race. Two cars stayed on the racetrack and did not pit from the lead lap. Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer, they stay on the track, so they're going to have some older Goodyear tires compared to Brandon Jones, Connor Zilisch, Sammy Smith. The caveat in all of this is there's only 18 cars right now at this moment on the lead lap. Some will take the wave around here in a moment and get the lap back. But that all being said, Todd Gordon, now that Allgaier and Mayer stayed out, they still have a set of tires left if there's another caution to come out.
Yeah, if we get a caution with 10 to go, they're sitting pretty. They're in a great position. But if we don't get that caution, they're going to go home with a set of stickers laying in their box.
And they're probably about to get eaten up here on this restart. You know, they're going to have old tires on. There's only two of them. You hope to have, I call them buffer cars, that you have 5 or 6 stay out with you. Because the other thing is if they run 15 laps and the caution comes out again, they're going to pit there and take their last set of tires. But instead of being 7th or 8th with new tires, they're going to be like 15th or further back. And they're going to have to pass more cars. So I don't think in this case, you had to go with the majority, I think. And I would have thought the majority would have stayed out too.
So my question is they will be on 15 and 17 lap older tires respectively. With what we've seen today, you say that they're going to get eaten up on the restart. So over the long haul, how much of an effect is that, being on 15 lap older tires? Because at some tracks we see where that's not the big deficit. Is Kansas Speedway one that where you will really pay that price today?
I don't think it levels out. I think they can continue to pay the penalty. We'll see where that plays out. I think we're going to have 18 cars on a lead lap when we come back around. I would be surprised. If this goes green, I'd be surprised if they finish in the top 12.
Keep in mind, though, the caution flag flew at lap 155, so there's only, 12 laps older tires as far as green flag laps go. And I know that's significant here at Kansas Speedway, but is it a detriment?
It's worse than what anybody else is, and it's 12 laps in a heat cycle. I really think that's a bigger deal as we play forward. Steve Post, you got more to add on this?
Listening to the conversation with Jim Pullman and Justin Allgaier, and you guys have really hit on every point. They figured there'd be some buffer cars. As Joey Logano talked about, that's other cars to stay out. They did not figure that the first car, Brandon Jones, is going to start in the row behind him. They just told Justin on the radio, look, you are going to get passed, and you're going to get passed by a fair number of cars. What we've got to do is hope that the caution comes out, and then we'll come in. We need 15 or 20 laps, though. We need to have a tire advantage, and then we'll come in and put the new tires on. So just exactly as you guys have described is the way it's been explained to race leader Justin Allgaier.
We'll find out how it plays out. The one to go has been given. It's time to choose what lane to restart in. Justin Allgaier has opted to restart on the outside lane. That'll put Sam Mayer's choice to the bottom side of the front row for this restart.
And you're talking about the choose right here. If you're any of the cars that are not behind, if you have tires and you're behind a car with old tires, is what I'm trying to say, which is the front row, you're just going to do anything you can do to make sure you don't get stuck behind them in turn one. Just don't be following them, because then you're going to get stuck and get passed with them. So you got to just figure out how to get air on your nose, make sure you're not stuck behind them. Brandon Jones is in a good place because he's starting on the outside second row. Connor Zilisch, a little bit more challenging. He's got to somehow get to the left or the right of Sam Mayer.
So basically, Dave Mooney needs to pull his belts tight about 3 or 4 cranks on that when they haul it off into turn number 1.
Yeah. This might not be that long of a run. Who knows?
Well, they're doubled up for the restart right now in front of Kurt Becker.
Yeah, here they come with the pace car. The lights turned out. You've got Justin Allgaier first up in the outside lane. You've got Sam Mayer to his inside. Brandon Jones ready to pounce from the outside lane as they head for start-finish.
And pace car will make the left-hand turn onto pit lane. They got to wait till they get to the restart zone. The control car is the leader on the outside lane, Justin Allgaier. He'll get on the gas late in the zone. Kyle Hicks puts the green flag in the air. Allgaier gets away with the lead. Here's Connor Zilisch all the way to the apron to go 3 wide for second.
Justin Allgaier gets a tremendous start and is away with the lead. Zilisch to the inside, 3 wide. He'll move up to third. Jones is second, but here he comes. No contest to the lead.
Brandon Jones just goes right on by, and Connor Zilisch comes with him, and Austin Hill will go to third. Everyone in the top 5 goes blasting by Justin Allgaier.
As Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer drop anchor, everybody now taking advantage of that tire deficit. Brandon Jones to the lead, Connor Zilisch to second, and what a run today for Austin Hill. He's up to third.
He has got the number 3 spot. 4th spot belongs to Sammy Smith, and the pummeling continues for Justin Allgaier. Sheldon Creed will bypass. Christian Eckes will be next.
And here comes Taylor Gray to the inside. He too will at least get alongside of Allgaier at the end of the back straightaway. Allgaier just struggling to stay in the top 10.
Same with Sam Mayer, who's outside of the top 10 already. Brandon Jones up front. Again, Mayer and Allgaier on older tires. They did not pit. It's Brandon Jones pulling the field to 1.
Brandon Jones leads by about 5 car lengths over Connor Zilisch. Zilisch up by about 3, maybe 4 over Austin Hill as they exit turn 2.
Cole Raz getting a little too high in the banking and scraping the safer barrier all the way around turns 3 and 4 off the pace last time by the leader. Brandon Jones heads off turn 4.
Brandon Jones, though, has Connor Zilisch trailing him in position number 2. The separation as they come to the start-finish line, put it at 3 car lengths. That is the separation between Jones and Zilisch, and they're pulling away from Hill in third.
Zilisch trying to reel him back in. He'll run a lower line into turn number 1, goes all the way down to the white line at the bottom. He is right there now on the back bumper of the leader.
So Brandon Jones tries to fend off the challenge from Connor Zilisch, then a gap of another 7 to 8 car lengths, then back to Austin Hill in third. The lead battle continues, headed for turn 4.
And it's separated by a car length with Brandon Jones up front, coming off of our latest caution flag where Justin Bonsignor got turned in turn 2 off the front bumper of Nick Sanchez. He's been released from the infield care center. Let's go to Chris Wilner.
Yeah, Justin has been checked and released from the care center. Justin, contact with the Nick Sanchez car. Walk us through what you felt.
He just it wasn't clear off of 2, obviously. I don't know if he got free there or corrected up into me. Only seen it one time. It was hard to tell, but unfortunate. We were running, top 12 basically all day, just learning. It's so hard to come in and out of here every 10 weeks and do this. And race car was real good. We had a good Toyota Supra today. M3 Technologies, want to thank them. But would have liked to see a checker flag. We deserve to finish in the back half of the top 10 at the very worst. And on to Martinsville, and we'll see what we can do there.
Glad to see you're okay. That was a hard hit for Justin Bonsignor, checked and released. Still has a modified championship to go for here in a few weeks.
And he is the only driver out of the Kansas Lottery 300 this afternoon. Battle for the lead is off the end of the backstretch.
Brandon Jones has the lead. Connor Zilisch is still there, and Austin Hill still trying to reel them both in.
Austin Hill still 5 car lengths in arrears of that lead duo. Through the shade they come with the massive grandstands at Kansas Speedway, covering turns 1 and the front straightaways. They go back to the corner.
Into turn number 1 they go in the shade. About midway through 1 and 2, they break back out into the sunshine. For the moment, Brandon Jones has got a car length in hand over Zilisch.
Zilisch will just ride along in the second position this time by as they all set up for the entry back into turn number 3. Brandon Jones leading a car length and a half back to Connor Zilisch.
What I'm afraid right now is that Connor Zilisch may lose touch of Brandon Jones, because if you remember the last run, Connor Zilisch had the short run speed. Brandon Jones had the long run speed. Brandon Jones is maintaining as the leader, using that clean air to help him keep that lead. I'm afraid on the long run you're going to see that 20 car just drive away.
That's exactly what's happening now on the backstretch.
It is Brandon Jones. Here he comes, the race leader. Comes back off the end of the back straightaway, keeping Connor Zilisch at bay. The straight ahead, some lap traffic to deal with in the form of Blaine Perkins off turn 4.
Brandon Jones got his first career Xfinity Series win right here at Kansas Speedway some 6 years ago. That was back in 2019. 330 career starts. Today is number 330, and Davey's looking for win number 7.
And he's pulling away in an effort to do exactly that. Drives underneath the lap machine of Blaine Perkins. His lead now is about 5 car lengths.
Here he comes one more time. Brandon Jones, this time nothing but open racetrack ahead of him. He will take the line toward the outside safer barrier, works up about a couple of lanes off the outside lane as they head back off the corner.
Further back, good battle for the number 5 position. Sheldon Creed and Taylor Gray had been going at it there, but off turn 4, Taylor Gray opens up the inside line. He'll slide under Sheldon Creed, and that allows Jesse Love to close in the process.
Jesse Love is pulled up within about 3 car lengths of that 2-man battle, and that battle's not over yet. Here comes Sheldon Creed. He'll dive to the bottom off turn number 2.
Still trying to find a way to get by the Taylor Gray machine. Creed keeps his foot in it, drives up alongside, and working right down next to the white line. Sheldon Creed starts to inch by for the spot.
They do, and they're going to have to go underneath the Blaine Perkins lap car. They were able to clear him with no problems. Perkins slid up. Now Jesse Love will get by as well as they continue this fight for position.
Sheldon Creed takes control of that spot, at least for the moment, and will pull away by a couple of car lengths. They now begin to close in on the Sammy Smith machine. Smith beginning to fade on the back straightaway.
Trying to hang on to the 4th position was Sheldon Creed, wanting to take that away from him. And here's Creed now making the same move he's done the last couple of laps into turn number 3, working right down at the lower side of the track.
Yeah, he will send that Ford Mustang in on the bottom of turn number 3, but he's chasing that car coming out of turn number 4. After getting by Taylor Gray, Dave, he's doing everything he can to catch Sammy Smith in what will be a battle for 4th.
Sheldon Creed going to the whip. He's going to enter turn 1 about midway up the banking. To the outside lane is Sammy Smith. He'll maintain about a car length advantage to the back 2.
Benefit for Creed is the fact that he is not under any pressure from Taylor Gray. He's managed to separate himself from Taylor by a half dozen car lengths, allows him to focus on Sammy Smith.
Down to 26 laps to go in the race as Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer, 2 drivers that stayed on the track and did not pit, are hoping and desperate for another caution flag so they can put on a fresh set of Goodyears.
Hey, I hear you think podcasts are all about true crime, huh? Well, wise guy, the iHeartRadio app's got all kinds of podcasts. We got stuff you should know and stuff they don't want you to know. We got Bobby Bones, Big Boy, and Lou Later. We got SpongeBob Binge Pants and Exotic Erotic Story Time. We got Doughboys, 2 Dudes in a Kitchen, Green Eggs and Dan. Hey, we got Elf Quest. We got podcasts for everything on the iHeartRadio app for free. If you don't download that, well, that's not just a true crime, my friend. That's criminal.
Looking for motorsports podcasts you won't find anywhere else? Check out the Motor Racing Network's lineup of exclusive podcasts. MRN Classic Races, Junior's Journey, The Many Hats of Jack Roush, Richard Petty, Road to Royalty, 50 Years of MRN, Jeff Gordon, A Colorful Career, and The Tough Trucks of NASCAR. Find these and more MRN exclusive podcasts on podcast providers and MRN.com.
24 laps to go. Brandon Jones has a 0.7 of a second lead over Connor Zilisch. Austin Hill is 3rd, Sammy Smith is 4th, and Sheldon Creed is 5th. From Kansas Speedway, this is the Motor Racing Network, the voice of NASCAR.
This is what being a NASCAR fan is all about.
Win at Talladega.
Singular history and tradition.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out.
And triple-header playoffs action to ratchet up the stakes.
We gotta go.
Throw in a can't-miss concert, and you've got more than a race. You've got Talladega. NASCAR Playoffs Weekend at Talladega, October 17th through the 19th. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Ticketmaster, the official ticketing partner of NASCAR.
Looking for weekly motorsports podcasts to stay up to date on what's happening on and off the track? The Motor Racing Network is the place. Hear from NASCAR crew chiefs on MRN Crew Call. All the happenings from regional touring series and local tracks on NASCAR Coast to Coast. Sprint Car Talk on Winged Nation. NASCAR history on MRN Classic Races. And hear from the drivers on NASCAR Live. MRN podcasts available on MRN.com, YouTube, or your favorite podcast platform.
We welcome you back to the Kansas Lottery 300 at Kansas Speedway as we continue on a cloudless, perfect Saturday afternoon here in autumn in America's heartland. We're getting down to it, 22 laps to go. Brandon Jones continues to show the way. Connor Zilisch is 2nd, Austin Hill 3rd, and Todd Gordon, you got to think now, if you're Justin Allgaier, Sam Mayer, you're just pleading for somebody somewhere to create a problem on the racetrack to get a caution flag.
Yeah, you need a caution in the next 10 laps. Actually, as you look at it, and even if it comes in 10 laps, that'd be 11. You're only going to have probably 5 laps to go when you get your tires on. You need a caution here in the next probably 5 laps to be able to take advantage of those tires.
Only 18 cars are on the lead lap at the moment. Rajah Caruth in 18th is the final car on the lead lap. Dave, these drivers continue to show why Kansas Speedway is not only a driver favorite, but a crowd favorite as well.
No doubt about it. There are race cars spread out all over the banking here. The bottom lane is being sparsely used at this point, but from the second groove up, second, third, fourth, and even the fifth groove up next to the safer barrier, somebody's running just about every inch of asphalt here at Kansas Speedway.
As we continue here under the green flag, laps getting fewer, 19 to go this time by. Kurt Becker over in front of you in turns 3 and 4. It hasn't been all that uncommon to see drivers from the white line all the way up against the bright white safer barrier.
Yeah, we've seen drivers throughout the course of the afternoon and through each stage of the race, Alex, who have taken full advantage of this racetrack. We've heard Joey Logano talk about the fact this track is wide, it's raceable. We've talked about the progressive banking, 17 degrees at the bottom, 20 degrees up at the top. We have seen drivers that have managed to capitalize top side, middle lanes, and all the way down next to the white line, but things have stabilized here. Most of the leaders running up high, about a lane and a half off the outside safer barrier as we move into these final 18 laps.
Joey Logano, we've seen you in this position before, had that car that's out in front. You're leading by a second and a half. It seems to be on rails. So what are you thinking inside of the car? Because while there are plenty of ways to win this race, there are also plenty of ways to lose this race.
Yeah, you just keep running your pace, right? And you hope it stays green. You're in control of the race. You're driving away as the leader. You just got to work the lap traffic as efficiently as possible. But it's funny because the rest of the field is like, man, I wouldn't mind a caution right now. So it's and maybe some of the fans are thinking the same thing as he's driving away right now. But yeah, it's NASCAR racing. It can change in the blink of an eye, right? As soon as you think everything's under control and things are good, boom, something can happen. And we've seen that happen so many times.
Got to give a call to a couple of drivers who have put together a really nice race today. Daniel Dye is running in the number 11 spot. He started dead last today in the Fox Factory Vehicle Chevrolet, so he's up to the 11th position. Dean Thompson, well, he's been up there. He's had a nice day. He is in the 10th spot. And what about Brendan Queenan? His second career Xfinity Series start. He's been hanging in there like a hair in a biscuit. He's been inside the top 10 for the better part of the afternoon. Finds himself running in position number 8 right now. So Butterbean, in his second career start, can wrap up the ARCA Championship next week at Toledo. Having a good day today.
Beans and biscuits with 16 to go. Here comes Brandon Jones to the line. Now 15 laps remain, but he's got more customers and more lap traffic to deal with in turn 1.
He's got the advantage of time and space here to be methodical about going after these lap cars. He'll make his way around Garrett Smithley off turn 2.
Closes up next behind the Joey Gase car. The leader, Brandon Jones, comes to turn number 3, changes lanes. He will go to the inside of the lap traffic this time by and work his way back off of turn 4.
Easy going right now for Brandon Jones as he now smoothly puts another car in the rear view mirror. Keeps his foot in the throttle. Flashes by start finish. 14 to go, but there's still more lap traffic on the horizon.
Not only is he making short work of the lapped automobiles, he's also expanding the lead while he does so. Next in line, Nick Lights will go another lap down by the time they hit turn 3.
Back Nick Lights is trying for all he's worth to stay in front of Brandon as long as he can, but just as Dave described, by the time they get to the end of the back straightaway, Jones has already passed and gone away.
So let's talk about the ripple implications of this, or the ripple effects of if Brandon Jones wins this race today. With Eric Almirola winning last weekend at New Hampshire, that left one spot open to transfer in on points. Brandon Jones, if he wins this race, he'll automatically move on to the round of 8. Now, behind him, Connor Zilic is there. He's 106 points to the good. You got Justin Allgaier. He's okay. You've got Sam Mayer. He's okay. Then you've got Taylor Gray. They're the top 5 in points, right? 17 to the good. It is below that, Alex, where things begin to tighten up with drivers that are above the cut and below the cut line heading into the final race of this round next weekend in Charlotte.
Yeah, you're right about that. Things are very close there. Taylor Gray's only 17 points to the good. Sheldon Creed plus 13. Then you got Carson Kvapil, who has been a non-factor today. He's 10 points to the good. It continues to get close around the cut line. Right now, Jesse Love is the last car good on points, but he's only by 6. Remember, that's only 1 point per position. Then out by 6 points is Nick Sanchez. Out by 7 is Austin Hill. Out by 8 is Harrison Burton. And also out by 14 is Sammy Smith. So things are very tight there as we get closer to the checkered flag of this one with 1 race remaining in this round.
And I know in talking to a lot of drivers in the garage, you don't want to have to go to the Roval and make something happen. With the unique nature of that layout, if you're below that cut line, Joey, that cannot be comfortable knowing that you're going to either have to engage in some pretty nifty strategy, you're going to have to survive, and you don't want to be swept up in somebody else's mess like we've seen at the Roval before.
Well, I think the goal is you want to try to get a big cushion so you don't have to worry about that stuff. You want to be plus 20-something over the cut line so you can go to the Roval and say, all right, I just got to score a few stage points, don't crash, I'm going to be okay. That's what you hope for. That's not always what you get.
How big and how magnified now are the penalties NASCAR handed down to Austin Hill, where he lost all of his playoff points? He finds himself, as he runs right now, having a decent day. He's running third, but he's still below the cut line on points. He's 7 points behind.
Well, we talk about it all the time. The regular season races matter, right? Because those are the playoff points that he earned throughout the day, throughout the regular season. Now he knows what it feels like to show up with 0. And you got to start making all that up. So, it's a short, 3-race span that you got to be able to make those up. And that's why every race during the regular season matters a lot. No matter what everyone says about this format, it does.
And in case you missed it or forgot what Alex just mentioned, Austin Hill was penalized at the race at Indianapolis and suspended 1 race for intentionally wrecking Eric Almirola. Not only was he suspended 1 race, but NASCAR took all of his playoff points, stopped him from accruing any more for the regular season, and he started the playoffs with 0 points. That put him right at the bottom of the list. He's been scratching and clawing every single week trying to regain that. And to your point, Alex, a third-place day you'd figure would be spectacular. It gets him right now to just 7 points under the cut line as he continues his quest to try to make the round of 8.
And things like that will hopefully get attention of other drivers not to perform the same types of maneuvers. Dave, we're getting down to it. There will be 7 laps to go this time by for Brandon Jones, and he continues to put that car just about anywhere he wants to.
Doing exactly what he wants to do and exactly what he needs to do, Alex. Just navigating his way through the lap traffic, pulling up now on the back bumper of the Rajah Caruth machine, who's had a pretty good day, but he's about to go a lap down to Brandon Jones.
There's Brandon Jones now off of turn number 2, just got around Parker Retzlaff and now starts to draw alongside of the Rajah Caruth car. Starts to move by in the middle lanes of turns 3 and 4. The leader, Brandon Jones.
One of the things we've seen out of Brandon Jones today and what we've been describing to you here all afternoon on the Motor Racing Network is the versatility of the Toyota Supra of Brandon Jones. It works on the bottom, it works in the middle, and it works topside, and that's exactly where he's going now in turn 1.
About a half a car width off that outside wall, leaving himself a little bit of wiggle room in case he needs it, but no challenges in the rearview mirror.
Looks ahead, and the next car straight ahead of the race leader is the car of Mason Massey. Here they come back into turn number 3. Massey is right up next to the safer barrier as Brandon Jones closes in.
He does as Brandon Jones comes back down to the line. Sam Mayer, who made the call and his team to stay on the track and not pit, well, he's not too terribly far in front of the race leader with just 5 laps to go.
No, that strategy has just not worked out for Sam Mayer or for Justin Allgaier. Right about now, though, the leader is a very happy man. Brandon Jones down the back straightaway dealing with another lap car.
Here he comes right alongside and now moving on by the Mason Massey car before they even get back to turn number 3. Brandon Jones again heads for start-finish.
Picking up lap cars one after another, passing them at will inside and out. He slides underneath one lap car, goes up against the wall, brings the car back to the bottom of the racetrack, utilizing every inch of this 1.5 miles Kansas Speedway.
And again, Mike, he's really in no rush because he's got a huge lead over Connor Zilic, who rides in second. So he's just going to ride that outside wall, pick him up when he can, and if they can't, he'll follow for a corner.
The next driver up in the sights is Ryan Ellis. His lap machine straight ahead, coming back into turn number 3. Brandon Jones navigates his way back off the corner.
3 laps to go this time dive for Brandon Jones. Here he comes down to the line. He still has cars in front of him that he may have to contend with. The beauty is, Dave, it's up to him whether he wants to or not.
That's exactly right. He's got a race car that will take advantage anywhere on the racetrack that there's room. He closes in now on Ryan Ellis off turn 2.
Here he comes, and Brandon Jones will do the same thing. He's done the last couple of laps, just let the car glide along toward the safer barrier. This time, though, he will angle the nose of his machine down toward the white line and start to move by the lap traffic.
Brandon Jones displayed a lot of optimism and a lot of good thoughts and good vibes coming into this race. Thought he could win the pole, and he did that. Thought he could win the race, and he's less than 2 laps to go from doing that.
Brandon Jones into turn number 1. Couple of lap cars dead ahead. Next in front of him will be the Anthony Alfredo machine. He might not even have to bother with him, Kurt Becker.
That is the case, at least so far, for the leader, Brandon Jones. He's back to turn number 3, still a half dozen car lengths behind the Alfredo car as they all head off the corner.
Jones will pull the car off the wall. He'll bring it down middle lane of the racetrack, swing wide off of 4, and cross the start-finish line and take the white flag. Less than 1.5 miles remains for Brandon Jones to score the win today in Kansas.
Final time into turn number 1. Brandon Jones developing a real affection for this Kansas Speedway all by himself as he exits turn 2 for the final time.
Brandon Jones, he's been good to the top side. He's been good down next to the white line. He's been good through the middle lanes of the banking. For the final time, Brandon Jones heads off turn 4.
Here he comes right in the middle of the racetrack as he makes his way off the corner clean and green. Checkered flag is in the air, and Brandon Jones will punch his ticket to the round of 8. Brandon Jones wins the Kansas Lottery 300 at Kansas Speedway, his 7th career win and his 330th career start. The 28-year-old from Atlanta, Georgia, will go to victory lane. Let's go to pit road.
Well, the scene down here is absolutely of insanity as the Joe Gibbs Racing